Now we're gonna do a little romance game.
This has been
Yay, dating sims.
something that we did for quite a while.
We did it every Extra Life I've been a part of except for last year.
Okay. And give me 1 second to get it up. If I can remember which hard drive it's on. Oh my god. Where did I put this? Is it on the game SSD? Yeah, there it is. Grunkle Stan. All right, so we did this actually in one of our Extra Life streams before, but we never finished it. We never did the other playthrough.
Yeah, we only got Grunkle Stan. We didn't get Ford.
So we're gonna do the Ford playthrough in this.
God, this is horrible.
There we go. Okay, cool. So we just start at the beginning, right?
Right? You don't need to reload.
We don't have any of this gallery.
No, we don't have any.
We have all.
Oh,
why did we get this one?
I don't know. We missed one picture for Grunkle Stan.
Well,
well,
hold on.
Oh no.
Where would that have been?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's okay. We don't need everything.
No! Okay, well, we'll just start from the beginning.
Oh, God.
Alright. Do I just click or is this... Ah, okay, here we go.
Alright, here we go.
Gravity Falls. A crash. Oh no. Actually, real quick, before we get super into this, I'm gonna look up the
Did you change what it's as on
Yeah. Twitch has the correct
Okay.
Right. I have to hit the done button. There we go.
Yep.
And then
I was looking, I don't see a walkthrough.
There's gotta be.
I'm on my phone. Oh, here we go.
Found him.
Yeah, I got one. It was a Tumblr. It was yours a Tumblr?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, I think we have the same one. All right. Okay, I've got the list.
Okay. Well, we'll do Ford in this one, and
yes.
All right. Smoke. Why is there smoke? What?
Oh.
No.
Hi, Ford.
My name. Type in your regular. No, you know what? No, we're regular person. And we are a they, them.
There we go. It's like Tad Strange in Gravity Falls. I'm Tad Strange. I like bread.
God.
The fact that this exists.
Sweet Moses, Ford, you've done it this time. Oh.
What? This has nothing to do with me.
I think we did all this before.
We did. No, this is because this is this is just the opening.
Okay, so
So this one does not matter.
Okay, but we're going for Ford, right?
Yeah.
Reassure him.
He fucked our car.
All right, we've seen all of this, so I can...
Skip. So I'm pretty sure we did voices.
Yeah, we did voices for all of this, which is why it took us like
Mabel
4 hours.
Wearing her little Cupid's arrow sweater.
We can go through all this. This doesn't matter, right?
No, it doesn't.
It's suspicious.
Whoever made this is so well done though.
If you want to see
so
all this,
good.
we have a playthrough on our on the channel of the stand route.
Regular person. Blah blah. And it's not till the cryptid hunt.
Okay. Jeez, wow, you just really go for it, huh?
That's how these go. That's how these games work. Okay.
Oh my god, get to the first thing.
Alright.
Oh my god, get through all of this.
Okay, we want to get to know Ford.
Okay, because yeah.
I'm assuming that's what it is, because this doesn't even have that option.
This
but
is new.
Yeah.
Ford, wait, need a hand with that recipe? I don't know. Who's going to be who? Do you want to be us and I'll do all the others?
I feel so uncomfy, but sure.
All right, I can handle it myself.
It doesn't sound anything like
That
him.
stands, right?
Yes.
Okay, how does Ford sound like?
He's J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh god, he's J.K. Simmons?
Yeah, he's J.K. Simmons.
I can handle it myself.
It's been a lot closer. Are you sure you couldn't use a hand? This is so okay.
Ford looks away, and then you follow his averted line of sight to Mabel, who's just mouthed something that you couldn't catch. When she catches you looking her way, Mabel gives you a 100-watt smile, the picture of innocence. Ford rubs the back of his neck. Yes, I suppose I can use some help. And with that, assured that Ford is on the task, you spot Mabel rolling away with Waddles into the living room. Before we get started, I suppose I should give you an introduction. Regular person, tell me, do you believe in the supernatural?
Well, we have to say yes. It's still not. The first option that matters is when he's talking about his journals.
That's crazy. Well, you're about to come face to face with an unexplainable yourself. I feel like I'm doing Cave Johnson.
Yeah, you are.
Which isn't bad.
It's just not right.
Same voice actor.
That's true.
You see, Gravity Falls isn't some quiet, unassuming backwater town. Much more lurks below its surface. Ford pockets the crumpled journal papers and gestures for you to join him as he walks. You do, and follow him through the living room and into the gift shop. For example, you must have heard Mabel mention a pterodactyl. Most would say none exists in the living world today, but I say, not if you know where to look. Ford reaches under the cashier counter and retrieves a packet of vintage-looking gum, inspecting it for a moment before slipping it in his pocket. He looks around in thought. Hold on to my explanation for a moment. I need to retrieve some more supplies. Ford ushers you out of the gift shop entrance so that you find yourself on the outside of the shack and then shuts the door behind you. Okay.
This is up to us.
I mean, we gotta peer through the window, right?
I respect the man's privacy. He's got business in the... Oh my god. Oh, is he gonna be going through the vending machine?
Maybe. The glass is dirty enough that the sunlight hitting it obscures your vision of the room within. You catch a gray and tan blurry figure that must be Ford at the far wall. You lean in too close and have to step back before you leave a conspicuous handprint on the window pane. When you look back in, Ford is gone. You turn back around. You're just going to stand out here until Ford returns. Not too long later, the door opens behind you and Ford joins you outside, looking no different than before. He must have stored whatever supplies he went to retrieve in his coat, but the trench coat falls too naturally on his figure for him to be hiding much.
Oh god.
Where were we?
The description's already.
Ford pulls a pen and pad out of paper from his coat, walking as he writes. Just as you're about to head out, he stops and smacks his hand to his face. Oh shoot, 1 second. Ford hurries back into the house, realizing he forgot one important component to this adventure. A butterfly net. Before you get the chance to ask, he strides out.
Wait, are we going
you.
after a pterodactyl?
I guess. Obviously, in no mind to tell you what it's for quite yet. Sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah.
I need to get that up. There we go. The pair of you walk past the shack and down a well-worn path into the trees surrounding the house, sunlight peeking between the pines. He double-checks whatever he scribbled onto the paper and tucks it back into one of his coat's seemingly infinite pockets. He stops and turns to face you with a definitive nod. My recipe for repellent called for a sprig of lavender, 2 thin slices of ginseng, a drop of bat blood, a chunk of amber, and 3.5 milliliters of ink. He pauses, staring down at the path in thought. Obviously, I already have all those components on hand, all except for one last ingredient, a single moth's wing. From Mothman itself. You can't help it. You gasp. Ford glances at you, and you think you see a hint of a smile before he turns back to the path and continues along, wind ruffling through his hair.
Mothman's a long way from home here.
You see, Mothman is the very creature on that page that Waddles seems to fear. Using a piece of itself should ward it away, or at least lead it to believe that Waddles isn't for eating. I would have already completed the repellent years ago if I had managed to collect that wing.
Was it too difficult?
Oh, I just never got around to it. Besides, Mothman used to come bat at this lamp I had lit out in the backyard. It seemed like such an innocent hobby that I never had the heart to chase it off.
Oh my god.
But if this brings Mabel and her pig a peace of mind, then the time has come to finish this. Sunlight filters through the trees, causing dappled shadows across Ford's coat as he leads in front of you. Break the silence?
Yeah, this doesn't have... I would say... let's do the middle one.
Okay. Study anomalies. Anything unusual, strange, and just plain weird. I began my research in this town because it was and remains a hotbed of paranormal activity. I made this exact trip 4 years ago, though at the time I had no idea where I was going. It was just dumb luck that I managed to tail Mothman back to its cave from my backyard. Navigating the forest by moonlight is poetic, but not advisable. I made plenty of other discoveries as well, from fairies to gnomes to amalgams of creatures who were never meant to cross to... wait. Ford reaches into his pocket and pulls out the slightly crumpled pages Mabel had pushed into his hand earlier, smoothing them out and shuffling through them. Take a look at these. They're more definitive proof than just my word. You accept the pages from him and find that they're scanned pages from some sort of journal. Just as you heard Mabel say, fluid cursive tells of Mothman, bear cubs, beard cubs, campfires, and more. Ford gestures to them and explains. I detailed my discoveries in a series of research journals. The remaining pages, at least. I wonder where Stanley was keeping those.
Okay, so for this one, 1, 2, or 3 all apparently are fine. So, how about number 3?
Any of these are fine?
Any of the first 3.
I thought you have to do these.
Oh. Okay.
Are you looking at the same
Maybe I'm
one?
looking at the wrong one. Yeah, do the, then do you drew these?
Because it said you drew these and then 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Who else?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm reading this wrong then.
Is that how it reads?
Yeah,
there?
no, I'm
Okay.
reading this wrong. I didn't see the arrow.
Well, which one?
The ink washes. Let's be really weirdly nerdy about this
Okay.
too. Because he would appreciate that.
My work now is far better, but I appreciate the compliment. Despite his understated words, Ford looks surprisingly pleased.
Okay. This I don't think matters. Yeah, because the next one is about the Mothman.
Okay. Oh, extremely. Some were worse. Dangerously annoying.
Oh, these are the previous answers that we're asking all of these.
So we had to do the optional one about his drawing, because
Yeah.
otherwise we would continue on without complimenting it. Oops.
Okay.
I hit a button. Okay, good. I hit the exact same button. The Ford seems to find his own comment amusing. He doesn't fail to notice your unease. I do have weapons in case things escalate, so there's no need to worry.
He's packing heat. You brought weapons?
Not many. I have a stun gun, my fists, and my sharp wit.
Oh god, I feel safer already. Yeah, I'll do that.
I thought it would be prudent to leave its magnetic fields alone for a while until I have the time to optimize it. You see, I was trying to widen the area of magnetic influence, but it's been a while since I last worked with a gun. I need to refamiliarize myself with its inner workings. My guess is I switched the wrong wire or two and instead narrowed the beam.
I'd like to see how it works sometimes. You okay?
Yeah, back hurting.
Oh.
Really? You know, if you're interested in devices like that, my old research colleague Fiddleford would have more to show you. He's the engineering genius around here.
Let's not have old man McGucket be a part of the dating sim. Just do yeah, why not?
That's one way to put it. Only took 6 years for me to get in over my head.
Jeez.
He takes a silent moment to look away from your gaze, seemingly bittersweet remembrance.
Alright, then ask about the creatures.
Oh.
Okay, so... Oh my god. None of these are the next one, so...
Okay, well...
Let's start from the top.
Yes, that's how we'll get the mothwing. Then why not use mothballs as... Oh, that's you.
Then why not use mothballs as repellent?
Well, I've never tried.
Oh my god.
Could the most conventional method be the unconventional one? Or would Mothman be able to overcome its mothly nature and persist?
Ask about the creatures more, because let's learn about all these... Oh god, the gnomes.
Gnomes. Other places have rats, mice, or insects as house pets. We have gnomes. Picture your typical garden gnome, but more disturbing.
Yeah, like Schmebulok. Pterodactyl.
I doubt we'll spot it today, but perhaps we could go bird watching later if you're interested.
God, you are an old man. Oh no.
Wait for further answer, but that's it.
So it's a leprechaun. Is that a leprechaun and a unicorn?
Maybe.
Ugh.
There are floating eyeballs here?
Yeah.
Sounds disconcerting, doesn't it? I once released them in my house by accident and found eyeballs in the most unsuspecting places for months.
Oh, that's horrible.
My guests chose not to comment on the choice of my house decor.
Oh my god.
Giant fruit bats, actually. They were among the first to teach me not to judge a creature by its reputation. I only realized they were harmless once I'd been bitten by one.
Oh no, that still sounds pretty bad.
That actually healed quite fast. I attribute that to the health kick I was on soon after.
Last one.
A rare specimen that I've since steered clear of when accompanied by others. Though if you wanted to see it in person, I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to walk into that situation again for the sake of education.
Jeez. Alright, now we're gonna walk in silence.
Suddenly, Ford puts an arm out in caution, slowing his pace. You nearly manage not to collide into him and take a quick glance around to see nothing? Look, there! You see what looks like a bundled up plaid shirt moving around the forest floor. Wait, is that a beaver's tail? It looks like... a platypus! Ah, what are you doing all the way out here?
Don't you mean a platypus?
Ford shakes his head with a grin. I meant what I said. It's a platypus. A platypus. Ford moves into a crouch but stays at a respectable distance, following the small creature. You watch him, and after a moment mimic his actions. Ford's giving the creature a bright smile, the first of its kind that you've seen since leaving Mabel at the shack. You're a Crete one, aren't you? And one of my favorite patterns, too. Ford motions for you to move forward a little more to the distance he's maintaining. If I were to rate the oddities that live in this forest on a scale of least to most annoying, these little guys will get immunity. They've done nothing wrong, and I appreciate them for it. As the two of you watch in quiet appreciation, the platypus ambles into the underbrush and vanishes from view. What a cute little guy. The two of you continue deeper into the forest. The foliage seems denser now, and you look through the treetops for a glimpse of the sun, which has by now dropped low in the sky. It had already been getting late when you left, but you hadn't thought Mothman would be this far out. Almost as though he'd read your mind, Ford answers for you. Mothman is rather reclusive, and as such, lives deeper within the forest than bolder creatures like the gnomes. Are you alright?
Huh?
That is, are you tired at all? I should have asked sooner. It's just been a long time since I've traveled with anyone new. Stanley tends to speak his mind without my asking.
Alright, nothing matters. So let's say that we're good.
I'm fine, really?
Or I'm worried about getting stuck here at night.
Okay. I know these woods like the back of my hand. We'll make it back. At least, I used to. It's been a while.
No, Ford.
You feel the opposite of reassured.
Ford.
In any case, we still have some time until sunset. Let's wait here in the meantime.
Why wait until sunset?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
The moment the sun touches the horizon through the gaps of the treetops, Ford gestures for the two of you to continue. You hadn't noticed, but you'd been resting within short distance of a small clearing that holds a cylindrical stone marker. The stone marker bears the intricate swirls carved into its surface. Ford reaches into his coat and produces a packet of gum from earlier, opening it and dumping the pieces out onto his palm. Gum?
Sure.
None of this matters?
No, not until such a place the Mothman doth rest.
Oh, okay. Unsure of why you came all the way out here to unwrap a gum at sunset, you accept a stick of gum. Ford puts the remaining gum in his coat breast pocket. He unwraps the now empty gum packet to reveal that it was hiding a small piece of parchment. Folded up to act as lining, he smooths it out against the stone, holding it under the deep orange-red light of the sunset. He stepped closer to look over Ford's shoulder. The parchment holds a detailed drawing of the swirls carved into the stone, documenting every crack on the surface. As you watch, a golden cursive unfolds itself across the page, seemingly fueled by the sunset's warm light. Ford reads the words as they appear.
Here we go.
Such a place the Mothman doth rest, but please do not disturb his nest. If kindness be something thou bereft. Ford lifts the parchment a little higher to prevent his shadow from obscuring the rest of the line. Follow thy nature and turn left.
I think we turn left.
I think so, regular person. Press onward. Left leads you to a dimly lit cave, which Ford says he remembers well. Except the last time he was here, it was pitch black since he arrived in the middle of the night. From its depths, you hear the faint sound of dripping water, echoing off the cave's shadow-shrouded walls. You slow as your eyes attempt to adjust to the low light. Ford pauses in front of you, reaching into his coat for something. Hold on, I have a flashlight in here somewhere. This cave has never received much natural light, you see, and...
Yeah, of course it doesn't. It's Mothman's home.
He rummages further and you see a couple of dice, the pad of paper from earlier, and a quill. He has some custom pocket work going on in there too, and you bet one of his coat's inner pockets has a pen protector in it. Here we are, at last. Now allow me to... Darn it, out of batteries.
Wait, I think I have one.
You pull out your phone and turn on its flashlight. The light is small, but it does the job. Huh, you saved our hides here, regular person. I was about to pull out a matchbook.
Spoken like a true 70-year-old.
With your light guiding the way, you and Ford move further into the cave, which yawns wide around you. It isn't until the silver of natural light from the entrance disappears that Ford speaks again. It's been years since I've been here. Decades even at this point. But I'll always remember the eye bats as one of my first discoveries when I arrived at Gravity Falls.
How did you find them in the first place?
One got into my house, you see. I was making breakfast one morning and one managed to find my cereal box. When I poured the cereal into the bowl, it came fluttering out, agitated, like it belonged there. The nerve! He still sounds so indignant even years later that you laugh. I wanted to contain it for further study, but unfortunately it managed to get away. As I thought about it afterwards, its people had constricted against the light, unfamiliar of bright light in the kitchen. So either it's nocturnal, or it lives in the deepest, darkest cave in the Gravity Falls. I found them easily after that.
Did you manage to catch one?
Somewhat. I came running through this cave with a butterfly net in my wits. I brought a working flashlight that time. They all hid in dark corners. Once I turned the flashlight off, they flocked to me. I caught 18 of them that day, but it reminded me of the stealth uses of... The rapid sound of clicking, claws against stone startles you, a shiver running up your spine. The dark. You turn off your light. Ford taps your shoulder and gestures for you to keep moving forward. Eventually, the narrow passage widens into a large room. The darkness shrouds the source of the dripping water from view, but as your eyes adjust and you squint to see a strange winged shadow, a shadow with eyes that glow red in near darkness like rubies, your breath catches in your throat as the realization comes over you. Ford is apparently fairly close to you in the room. You find when he speaks a few inches from your shoulder. You catch the shadow of his arm swing out in a wide arc, like he's introducing you to... Regular person, I'd like for you to meet the Mothman. He whispers, but even in the dark you see him grinning excitedly at you. Ford looks between you and the Mothman, apparently hoping for a dramatic reaction. Your speechlessness seems to satisfy him. Don't worry, he hasn't noticed this yet. Here's the plan. You make contact with Mothman, and I... He pulls out a butterfly net and a large, lidded jar. Now, where that one came from within his code of mysteries is lost to you.
Oh my god.
We'll capture one of the 100 moths that compromise it.
Okay. I'm gonna do... Wait, I get to touch Mothman, Wait, is it the right one? Yes, I can do that one.
Okay.
I can do that one, yeah. There's two options.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. It turns into 100 black witch moths. It's like experiencing a swarm of locusts, surprising when you're not expecting it. Remember, even just a light touch is enough. You steel yourself, awaiting Ford's signal. He waves his hand to coax you forward, and then it's up to you to decide how well to make contact.
Run straight for it.
Yeah?
That's what I want. Yep.
With an honorable battle cry, you charge straight at Mothman. It lets out a screech and beats its wings aggressively, cueing you to drive straight at it. As soon as you make contact with Mothman's chest, a swarm of moths flutter around you, trying to escape. Wait, moths, of course! You turn the light on your phone back on, and the bright light spooks the moths while keeping a few dancing around the light source. Nice. You walk slowly back to Ford, who sees the remaining moths fluttering around the phone in your hands and puts the butterfly net back in its coat. He gently brings the jar over one of them and screws it closed. Well done, regular person. That wasn't too hard, was it? Ford pockets the jar and you turn off your phone's light, releasing the few remaining moths back into the darkness.
That was amazing.
Ford laughs, brushing dust and dirt off his trench coat. You could say that. Our completed repellent is within sight. Let's head back. Ford turns to leave the cave. He looks calm and content. You, on the other hand, are buzzing with energy under an adrenaline rush. Should you go for a high five?
Be a high 6 for him.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hey, we get a photo.
You raise your hand on a universally understood offer of a high five. Ford pauses, then grins, high-fiving you, or rather, 6. When you and Ford finally reach the cave
For
entrance,
anybody who's not Gravity Falls fan, he has 6 fingers.
Yep.
Instead of 5. That's why his nickname was Sixer by his brother.
And why the journals have 6 fingers on them.
Yeah, exactly.
When you and Ford finally reach the cave entrance, you find the forest that you'd left in the dying light is now awash with a silvery glow. The gap between the leaves overhead provides a view of the night sky along with a long string of stars. A few more steps and the Milky Way comes into view, looking as if it tear across the fabric of the sky. Ford notices you looking. See something? The pterodactyl doesn't usually come out this late, but being a prehistoric creature, its behavior is rather unpredictable.
Second one.
I've had a couple of chances this summer. It looks stunning over a calm ocean at night.
It's incredible up here.
He gazes up into the night sky. A whole year has passed, yet it still feels strange to see a sky I recognize.
What?
Oh, traveling. I was in a different part of the world. You both stare up at the sky in a comfortable silence for a few more moments. The quiet of the forest settles in, along with a distant sound of flowing water. And you find yourself surprisingly glad that Ford had accidentally pulled you here, if this is one of the moments you get to experience. Out of the corner of your eye, you swear you see Ford looking at you instead of looking up, but when you tilt your head back down, his attention is elsewhere. Eventually, the two of you come to a wordless mutual agreement to continue on, and you're walking again.
You'll have to show me the other creatures that live here sometime.
You're glad you said so when you look over and find that Ford looks pleasantly surprised to hear it. Puffs his chest out with pride. Of course, maybe we'll even get to spot the hide behind or tag along with Dipper when he visits the multi-bear.
I don't like the hide behind. The what?
Ford taps his temple, grinning. You'll have to wait until I show you to find out.
I'm holding you to that.
We have some time left before we get back, if you're up for another walk. You make a face because Ford looks back to you and laughs. We're not far, I promise. I just thought I might answer a few of your questions, if you have any.
Sure, let's do the...
Questions?
Yeah. You must stay in great shape if you do this all day. Oh my god.
Actually this sort of thing isn't part of my exercise regimen. Ford turns left at the stone marker towards the sound of the river. Sure enough, after a while, it comes into view. The moonlight illuminates the water as you walk along it. After following the river for quite a few minutes, the shoreline expands into a small round lake in the center of a clearing. Overhanging it is a large, flat rock, the kind that could be used as a less than effective diving board in times of emergency, the emergency being that one just had to jump into the lake. However, neither you nor Ford really look in the direction of the diving board. He leads you towards the edge of the lake where a relatively flat boulder could substitute for a bench, and the two of you take a seat.
I guess the first one. You said to wait, but can I at least get a preview of what I'll be getting into?
not content to leave them to discover yourself, Well, has anyone told you about the Gobblewonker? You snort, taken aback by the name, but compose yourself when Ford simply raises an eyebrow.
I don't think so, no.
Not even the tourist guide?
Does
the office even read my letters?
He's so offended.
Ford mutters to himself something about updating the tourist guide to warn against local dangers. He sighs with frustration that's reserved for bureaucracy, but soon lightens up at the prospect of getting to introduce you to another strange creature. Well, the Gobblewonker is a large sea creature that lives in this very lake. One could say it's our version of the Loch Ness Monster. My old research assistant apparently saw it at some point. He said it was large, gray, and scaly, along with a long neck like a giraffe. Wouldn't have had any odd sightings yet, have you? It's only been 24 hours, but my first encounter with the strange occurred shortly after my arrival as well.
Not apart from today.
Well, don't count on that being the norm, regular person. In fact, the norm is a laughable concept here.
But my name is regular person. Family. Oh god, there's so many options.
Oh boy.
Do we want to go through? None of these matter.
Well, just go through them. In short, a force to be reckoned with, she radiates charm and positivity and has depths of determination I can only guess at. You'll find out for yourself most likely. It's hard not to wake up one day and find yourself her friend. Perhaps you already are. He wiggles his fingers spookily in the air and you laugh.
I'm wiggling my fingers spookily in the air at you. Sorry. I don't doubt it.
Okay.
Dipper.
Dipper's very intelligent. In many ways, he reminds me of, well, myself. Last summer, he found the research journals I mentioned, and instead of overlooking them, he made some impressive contributions of his own. He has since started his own journal, and I look forward to see where life will take him. He's made me prouder than I can say.
Seuss.
Ah, the handyman Seuss. I'm not sure what he does exactly, but Stan gave him the rights to conduct his business within the shack, so he spends his day giving out tours, selling merchandise, fooling the townsfolk, giving no refunds, and the like. I may not have been around the original Mystery Shack very often when Stan was still running it, but I believe Seuss is doing the brand name good.
Stan, tell me about your brother.
Stubborn, foolhardy, a liar, and a cheapskate, but a true hero at heart. There's no one else I'd rather call my brother.
Okay. All right, Mystery Shack.
Ah, yes, the Mystery Shack used to be my house once upon a time, and now it's a tourist trap. Oh, that was you.
Oh.
I'm glad for what it's become as a home. I just wish it weren't so offending to each of the other senses.
I like the idea that I'm just going, staying! And he's like, alright. Are you really okay with me staying here?
Absolutely. I owe it to you, after all. You helping me today, however, was not part of the plan. You're making it rather hard to settle my debt.
I think you did me a favor just by letting me come along today.
The two of you share a smile.
Stars.
You ask Ford if he has a favorite constellation, and his answer comes faster than you expected. Orion and Ursa Major, without a doubt. What about you?
Let's also have Ursa Major.
Okay. Well, you must have good taste. Ford looks out across the lake in thought. Regular person, I have to admit, I didn't want to take you with me earlier today. I thought I'd be walking myself into an uncomfortable social situation. So did you, to be honest. And you did well out there. Not many tourists could handle the kind of task we just completed. This had the potential to have gone disastrously. I mean, a butterfly net against Mothman? Easily a 3% success rate. Sometimes the more Ford speaks, the less reassured you feel, so all that's left is a distant unease. You smile and nod anyway. The two of you sit in another moment of quiet night air pleasantly chill around you until
Moment
Ford...
of quiet, night air pleasantly chill around you.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
No, it's not that weird. That's what the pause is for.
Should it be a semicolon?
No.
So Ford breaks it again. We should head back now. I'm sure Mabel will want to hear we've been successful.
Yeah, she wants to hear how successful we've been.
You stand and give Ford a hand up from the makeshift bench. Ford takes the lead again, and you're no longer able to catch the sight of the lake when you glance back up. Ford gradually adjusts his pace to yours, walking side by side with you in companionable silence all the way back to the shack. Almost there. You recognize from the incredibly flashy signs touting phrases like Mystery Shack this way and Sasquatch to your left that you're extremely close to arriving back at the shack. As you and Ford leave the tree line, you see the bright lights shining on the porch. You make out a faint outline of the kids' shadows as they run through the house and emerge in the attic window, and Mabel pushes it open, leaning out. You should do her.
Grunkle Ford, finally! You guys took so long. I had time to cover waddles and macaroni.
Why would you do that?
I have my reasons. Did you get the thing?
Yes, I'm coming inside so we can stop shouting. Regular person, come along. We've got a pig to save. Ford strides into the shack, a man on a mission. You grin and follow, but not before taking one last look at the night sky. Yeah, maybe your stay won't be too bad after all. Back inside the shack, the grand conclusion to your expedition into the Mothman's cave is spritzing Mabel's pig with the newly finished deterrent until the poor piglet reached the lavender. You see Mabel and Dipper head up to the bed, looking sleepier than usual as a result. Something about lavender is so soothing to the senses that you crash out fairly soon afterwards, face first on your makeshift bed. Hey!
We did well.
Yay!
All right.
So we can actually skip to, I guess, because this looks like it disables itself when it's not stuff.
When it's not new.
Oh, okay. So, what did we do last time?
Click history real quick. Because I want to see what they say. Okay, so... Scroll down.
It looks like we stayed in.
Well, this is what we just skipped. This is what's happening. I want to see if they say anything like if somebody wants to stay here, or if Grunkle's I don't remember if Grunkle Stan wanted to leave.
I can't remember either.
I don't think it matters. Based off of this does not matter. So let's just.
I want to do the thing we didn't do though.
Well,
time to open the video.
Oh God.
We're going to do our research real quick. Okay. So, go to my account, search here. Okay. Okay, that's all car stuff.
Yeah, that's how we started the Stan stuff.
It looks like we went out because we're in a diner here.
Okay, then we're staying in.
Okay. Dipper, can you cook?
Child.
Maybe Dipper can help you make something.
Hey, that's me.
Oh, never mind.
Oh no, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Maybe Dipper can help you make something different. We should save the Mabel cakes for another day. A more special day.
That's also
Oh, that's right. But regular person...
Mabel, still standing on the step ladder, reaches up and squishes your cheeks together, her eyes wide, staring into your soul.
Oh, God. Every day is a special day with Mabel cakes.
Oh, no. Oh, you have to go out.
Okay, so we have to go out. Okay. All right.
Okay, we just didn't get that dialogue last time.
Is there somewhere we can... Well...
I'm just going to skip through this because, yeah.
You can click skip.
Yeah.
There we go. This is what's
all
new.
This is new?
I think so, because this is us.
Diner in the distance.
Yeah, now you could skip again. That one thing was because we knew about what's happening here.
Okay.
All right. Let's get some pancakes.
Okay.
Coming right up, sweetie. All right.
Oh my God.
Okay. Are you reading the...
Aside from the kerfuffle, you catch Ford's eye. Was he staring at you?
Ooh.
As soon as he realizes, he quickly sets his gaze elsewhere, looking over your head and out the window. You'd say that he probably just shifted his attention, but his finger hooks under the high neck of his sweater and he tugs at it. Well, regular person, I really appreciate you looking after Dipper and Mabel for us. It was very kind of you to bring them here.
Oh, it wasn't a big deal, really. I'm happy to help.
You smile at him, pretending you don't feel how warm your face is.
Oh,
Maybe it's just hot and greasy. Ford looks close to the shade of his sweater. Dipper mumbles an ow, and you catch Mabel elbowing aside, waggling her eyebrows at him. You're not sure why. Well, kid, if you're paying, scoot over, Dipper. I want breakfast too.
You can hit skip now.
Oh.
It'll take us to whatever's new. All right, here's our new one.
While he didn't find whatever evidence he needed, something to do with their digestive systems, you both decided that the stomach-faced duck flock were questionable. Not as questionable as the question quail, which he shows you from a scanned journal page, but still questionable. You ask why he decided on the octopus was too stupid to study, but received a loud groan, and too sticky was an answer. Valid point. All in all, your adventures with Ford have been more enjoyable than you expected. You can't help but hope that you get to experience another one with him soon. As you walk through the living room, lost in thought about question quails and Ford's journal pages, and narrowly avoid slipping on a sheet of graph paper, why don't you do Dipper too? You do the kids.
Don't look! Oh, it's you.
Dipper peers out over a book that proclaims D, and more D, officially licensed campaign journal. He's sitting on the yellow armchair with crisscrossed legs, barricaded in with books and papers. He's got a lap of multicolored dice and half a dozen chewed pencils strewn across the floor, and one in his mouth. You look down and notice the floor is almost entirely covered in graph paper.
Hi, did you need something? I know it's kind of messy. I should probably clean that up.
Dipper looks reluctant to extract himself from his self-constructed fantasy lore prison.
Here, I can do it. You look busy.
You're about halfway through cleaning the floor before you actually start looking at what's on the various sheets you're holding. Fantasy maps, some floor plans, and countless scribbled notes and calculations in the margins.
What are these for? Planning something?
Dipper's re-immersed in his planning. He startles a little when you ask.
Right. No big deal. It's just for this great pen and paper role-playing game called Dungeons, Dungeons, and More Dungeons. DD and MD for short. It's all about fantasy worlds and statistics and swords, and, well, it's kind of difficult to explain, but it's super fun. I'm playing it with Uncle Ford today, so I'm just putting down the final touches on my dungeon. He's gonna be so stumped.
Stumped, you say? Ford comes into the room at that precise moment, drying his hands on his trench coat. Perfect timing, Dipper. I managed to just get the paint off my hands.
Paint from what?
Oh, one of the gnomes came by and decided he'd graffiti the side of the house. Something about his rapper persona.
Yeesh.
Yes, I don't think Jay Gnomesy is going anywhere in the music business. In any event, I see you've been hard at work. Are you ready for our game?
Yes, and regular person, I can take those now. Thanks for the help.
Ford looks like he just noticed you standing there for the first time since he entered the room. Regular person! Glad to see you weren't too shaken up by our adventure yesterday. You grin and hand Dipper this tall stack of papers, catching a glimpse of the stats for a knock-knock skull.
Well, I made it back in one piece, right?
That's the spirit, though 90% of a piece would have been good too. You know, you never realize how little of a difference 10% makes until you lose it.
Jesus Christ. Uh-huh. So how was the Mothman?
Shaken up. All in the name of research, though. I've seen it lose a few moths and come back the next week, good as new. A process akin to cycling out dead cells. I would say we just expedited that process. No moral issues there. Well, regular person, the game calls, and I must answer. Stanley's about if you're looking for him, though, well, if you wanted to join our game, I certainly wouldn't object. I can promise a fun afternoon.
Another player? Yeah, totally. I can give you a pre-made character sheet to start and dice. Shoot, where did I put my other set?
Don't worry, I've got an extra set.
Me? I don't even know how to play. Oh man, there are so many rules. Where to start? Oh, I mean, it's really easy to pick up. It's even kind of like popular now.
You're not sure about committing the whole afternoon to this game with Ford, though Dipper does seem pretty excited about it. But Stan's around too, and you wanted to go check on your car.
What? No, I don't want to check on my car. My car's fine.
Well, think about it, regular person. Dipper, my boy, why don't you and I get things set up in the meantime? Ford and Dipper launch into fantasy lore talk as they prop up a corkboard against the yellow armchair, pin up various maps and floor plans, and with important landmarks and upend their pouches of dice onto the carpet. We're joining the game, right?
Yeah. Great. Oh shoot, did you look at the plans earlier? Those were for Dungeon Master's eyes only. If only I'd known you were going to join us.
No.
Yeah, I wanted that one.
Is it
There's no, it doesn't
okay.
matter. Haha, very funny. Or do you, Grunkle Ford, do you think they...
What? Sorry, I was just rereading this passage on Dwarven architecture. They've really improved their illustrations, though I can't say the same for their prose.
Oh my god.
Dipper and Ford put the final pieces in their place. The floor is encircled in a mix of propped up corkboards, books, maps, notes, and loose leaf paper. Ford unfolds a game board in the center of the madness. Brilliant. We're all ready. Don't look so nervous, regular person. You'll have me here to walk you through it. Ford sits down next to the game board. He pats the piece of carpet next to him, inviting you to sit, and you do. Dipper sits across from you on the other side of the game board and unfolds an illustrated piece of cardboard, propping it up in front of him. He notices your questioning gaze on it and looks back at you.
Oh yeah, this is the Dungeon Master screen. It's there to protect my secrets.
It hides essential die rolls and plot points from prying player eyes.
Gruckle Ford's tried to look ahead once or twice and spoiled a narrative twist, and you were the only player.
I'm just making sure my dungeon mastering apprentice stays on his toes. You can never be too vigilant. Dipper gathers up his dice in a pile next to the DM screen, ready to roll when needed. Now, I mentioned the extra dice set, didn't I? Dice are an important, though by no means essential, component of the gameplay. No adventurer should leave the house without a set. I keep mine in this souvenir velvet dice bag from a local game store. Yes. Ford retrieves a dark drawstring bag from his coat and empties it onto the floor, where dice of all different shapes and sizes come tumbling out. And now for yours. Ford pulls another matching drawstring bag from the depths of his coat. They were having a buy one, get one discount. Go ahead, take a look. These will be yours for the session. He poured these dice onto the carpet as well, metallic gold with the numbers embossed in black.
Fancy.
Well, I didn't have enough left to make them from solid gold. I was able to electroplate a set for fun.
Great Uncle Ford, you electroplated those dice? They're so nice. That didn't mean to rhyme. Maybe you should be the one with the rapping career, not Jane Gnomesy.
Ford and Dipper laugh.
Yeah, maybe not. But anyway, let me reintroduce our characters.
Dipper clears his throat, settling into the Dungeon Master persona.
When we last left our heroes, Miv the Meddling trapped the great elven wizard Vernon and the halfling fighter Tyros in a dungeon filled to the brim with puzzles, riddles, and brain teasers. To reach Miv and the end of this journey once and for all, they'll have to brave the dungeon's mysteries and escape with their lives intact.
Dipper sets two figurines side by side on the game board. One is an imposing figurine in flowing robes, and the other is much shorter in comparison, but posed with a will to prove himself. You suppose the former is Vernon and the latter is Tyros.
But what would our two heroes find in the first room of the dungeon but a potential ally, just as trapped as they are, who will join them in their quest for freedom?
Dipper places three figurines on the carpet, just off the side of the game board.
And you get to choose your character now, regular person. These are starters with pre-made templates, so they're good for short notice editions like this. Alright, I want the... oh my god. I guess the dwarf fighter.
Fighters are hardy, brash, and know how to pack a punch.
Another fighter, huh? We might need that. Wizards can be kinda squishy.
My wizard has extra points in Constitution. Glance at Ford's character sheet and see that while Ford's wizard might be a little buffer than normal, he's a little low on wisdom. You a dwarf fighter?
Sure.
Does it matter for us?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Let's do dwarf fighter.
All right. Dipper moves your figurine onto the board beside Vernon and Tyros.
All right, what's their name going to be? Alex, short for Alexandros. You
hear Ford trying Alexandrios under his breath a few times.
I'll just call him Alex.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Here's your character sheet. It's got all the info on it.
Okay.
All right, game.
It's a whole thing, huh?
Holy shit.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. Our heroes encounter Alexandrios, Alex for short, in the first room of the dungeon. Alex, what's your deal with our main villain, Miv the Meddling? I just woke up here with a headache. Ford, help me!
This one?
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, sorry, that's you.
DD and MD is almost entirely imagination and creativity. Go ahead, just make something up. It's half the fun.
Ford, help me!
Regular person, try using your creativity. Anything is fine, honestly.
Oh no!
You're the one with the guide.
This doesn't have anything yet for this. How about we skip this part for now? We can come back to you later. Alex explains how they struck Miv's ire, and in turn Tyros shares that Miv once bested him in a duel. An embarrassment because Miv is a sorcerer and sorcerers aren't known for their physical combat skills. In Tyros' defense, he was still young at the time. But none of this matters because to finally face down Miv, they must escape. Behind you is a plain door. On the far wall of the room is a set of red doors, and to the left and to the right are old stained glass windows with weirdly familiar motifs on them. Yeah, I see Sixer. I see Mabel.
Mm-hmm.
I see Stan. And I see Dipper. Oh, and then Bill at the top.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Bill. Having woken up here with no recollection of getting here at all, you have no way of knowing which door you came in, should go out of, or even what direction you should head in at all. And now you guys decide what you want to do. You might want to look around first.
By that, of course, we mean rolling a die to see if we can notice anything. The outcome of nearly every substantial choice we make is tied to a roll of the dice. I'll let you choose what to do here, regular person.
Then I'll take a look around.
Ford shows you what you roll for the investigation check, and Dipper flips through his notebook, ready to tell you what you see.
Huh, nice roll. Tacked to one of the walls of this room is a note that reads, "Proceed with caution, homies." Tyros pockets the note, and in the distance you hear the faint sound of rushing water. What do you do next?
What's the state of the door behind us?
See for yourself. I'm still the DM. I can't respond unless you check the door.
Ford casts Detect Magic, and after confirming with Dipper that there is no magic behind the door, pushes it open. The three of you leave through the door. Nice.
As the last of you step through the doorway, it melts, seeping into the wall as if it were never there. Guess we're not going back that way. The chandelier overhead ignites, casting the room in a warm orange glow and revealing an impressive door on the far wall. In front of it is a large cloth-covered lump. Take a look around.
Roll for investigation, just like earlier.
You approach it to inspect it. As your footsteps grow nearer, the lump shifts, rising to reveal that it is in fact a goblin. The goblin stands to attention and tries to pretend it was never asleep.
Travelers!
Oh, yeah,
I
please do.
noticed thee and demand you answer these riddles 3.
Okay. I'm sorry, there's options.
Mm-hmm.
We can, we have the fighter, so let's intimidate.
Okay.
I say, why should I, punk?
You notice Ford giving you a minute, approving look. Just roll a d6 on this one. Intimidation checks are straightforward. You roll and get a 6. Success.
Go on and get out of here. The goblin gives you a teary-eyed mean look and disappears, as if he'd been teleported out of there. With the goblin gone, all that remains is the door.
I guess detect magic, the door.
That's all he does. The door is steeped in magical energy, and you suspect that it's what's keeping the door closed. You follow the energy back to its source, a brass knocker in the shape of a lion's head, which begins speaking.
To unlock what lies beyond, tell me, what is it you desire? Which one of us is it talking to?
The lion's head looks past Vernon and Tyros and towards Alex, its eyes glowing ruby red.
Maybe this time we'll get to learn something about your character.
Oh no.
What is it you desire?
The answer that it has is nothing.
Well, the lion's head is deeply offended. Nobody wants nothing, but if you say so, then my purpose is futile. Begone, homies.
The door swings open and Vernon, Tyros, and Alex step forward into the next room.
What made you choose that answer?
I couldn't think of anything that was sure to benefit the party as a whole instead of just my character, so I forfeited my choice. Nothing was actually the answer I was looking for. You solved my lion's head puzzle, regular person. As soon as you enter the next room, the wall melds over the doorway, sealing you in. Glancing around, the far wall of the room seems to be of a different material and color than the rest, though it could just be the lighting. To the left, you see rows of orbs affixed to the wall. Why don't we inspect the orbs? This doesn't matter, apparently. After inspecting and interacting with the orbs for a few minutes, you come to realize a few things. There are 26 orbs. You can touch all of them. You can touch them to make them glow. You can only touch 6 of the orbs at a time, and once 7 are touched, all orbs fade to their original color. Each orb is labeled with integers that run consecutively from 1 to 26, starting from the leftmost orb.
Looks like we need a password for this one, regular person.
Ford, you're supposed to be the smart one. You do this.
If the puzzle is fair, it must be a word we've already been introduced to. One that stands out. You think back to the first room when Tyros pocketed the note from the first room of the dungeon. What was that word again?
They're fucking homies.
I mean, it might be.
There's no answer for it, so... Homies.
I mean, it's the only 6-letter word.
Homies. You spell out homies, and all the orbs illuminate in unison and disappear. The room rumbles, and you turn around to find a green glass door. Walking up to get a closer look, you see that engraved on this door is a riddle. The door reads, if you go into the green glass door, you can bring a ball but not a bat. You can bring a book, but you can't bring a novel. You can bring coffee, but not tea. You can bring letters, but you can't bring numbers. If you wish to pass, you must present an acceptable offering.
Interesting one, Dipper. Let's think. A ball, but not a bat. I think I understand, regular person. What could you bring through the door? Okay.
There's no answer for this one, so I'm trying to think. You know what? Let's just say jade pendant. I don't know.
I truly don't quite understand what this one
I
is.
don't know, but apparently you unlock a gallery picture for this chapter by giving at least one wrong answer to either the mouse and silver sword segment or the green glass door segment.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to just guess you bring a ball but not a bat. A book but you can't bring a novel. Coffee but not... I don't know.
So are we giving the wrong answer then?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. This isn't one that they have an answer for on here.
Mystic Amulet?
Sure, try that. Alex offers the item to the door. Nothing happens.
Okay, we gave a wrong answer. It might be jade because it's a green glass.
Oh,
door.
that's true.
Unless it's hourglass.
Well,
because these are two.
Just go down the list then, I guess.
Oh, for my Baron's Book of Spells.
And Tyros offers his cutlass. The door dissolves, letting the party pass through. Okay. I don't understand. There we go. We got the picture, though, for this. Oh, God.
You glance at Ford to notice that he was watching you figure out the puzzle the entire time, even if you weren't too good at it. Before you make eye contact with him, he turns his head, facing back at the game board on the floor, and...
Great Uncle Ford, are you okay?
Oh, yes, Dipper, I'm fine.
But then why is your face so red?
You take a second look, and then find that Ford, indeed, looks a little red. Ford stammers out his way through, "It's a little warm in here," as you ask if he's all right. You guess wearing a turtleneck in the summer will do that to a guy. Oh.
You okay?
But Dipper raises his brows at you both, surprised. He writes something down in the margin of his notebook before clearing his throat to continue the campaign.
The green glass door swings open. You go through. To freedom. And there it is, the end of the dungeon. I cut it down a bit on the fly. I didn't want to make it too long. I would have ran a murder mystery I had planned out for ages, but my test runs have never, gone very well with my focus group. So what did you think? So what happens? I don't have the... Oh, no. I don't have
I guess it's after this one? Or?
Maybe. I don't have that option, but... Oh, no. Are the games always this short, I guess? Because I feel like that's the nicest thing out of this.
Both Ford and Dipper scoff at the notion. No, this short one is unusual. But for a new player, it's enough to introduce you to the game.
The real complex campaigns take way longer to finish. Like Grunkle Ford's can take up to a month. Sometimes in between sessions, I wake up in the middle of the night with the solution in my head.
Well, Dipper, I think you did well. It's not easy adding an extra player on short notice like that.
I always write it in just in case. Not completely, but just a few notes. I think we picked the best option out of those three.
I think so. Ford and Dipper launch into a conversation about dungeon mastering as they clean up the DDA MD setup, returning the game components to the original glossy fantasy box. They're too fast in practice for you to figure out how to help, so you just pick up the dice Ford lent you and return them to their original velvet bag. Dipper leaves to put the DDA MD box back upstairs, and then it's just you and Ford. Regular person, you did well for a first-timer. I take you into a dungeon with me. I mean, Ford gives you an embarrassed smile, but you're already smiling at him yourself.
I know what you meant. Thanks, Ford.
A call comes from the kitchen, from what sounds like Stan. Haha, well, I talk more, but I'd better see where he needs. Ford moves past you, heading towards the kitchen. You suddenly feel the need to hold on to this moment, like you need to say something.
Ford?
Yes? Maddie's looking at you again. You don't remember what you were going to say. All you say is,
Here's your set of dice back. Thanks for letting me use it.
Ford chuckles, shaking his head. No, you keep it, in case you decide to join us again next time. See you at dinner, regular person.
All right.
Okay.
We went up.
It went up, but I wonder if it went up enough.
I followed this exactly as it said.
I wonder if it's because we chose the wrong answer for that to get the picture, so we couldn't do...
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
But we need the pictures.
Or maybe it's because we asked for Ford twice at the beginning.
That wasn't an option it didn't have it as a mistake.
Well,
Hit skip.
Yep, we're gonna
Skip
the
to
next
anything
stuff.
that's new. All right, this
Okay.
is new. Okay, let me look at the... Okay, this doesn't matter. I don't even know what's going on.
That's Mabel for you. It's your thing, I guess. Oh, yeah.
That's
you.
okay.
There's a moment of silence.
I'll help if you do. Thanks, Tipper.
Okay, we'll skip to the next thing. Where should you look?
Does not matter, so let's look. Shaq's Foundation. That's right, because she's marrying Gompers and
Oh,
Waddles.
that's right.
Yep. You can hit skip.
Oh, I can't hit?
It'll take us to... Alright, this is the newest part. Alright, could you be the new... Hey, regular person, could you be the new ring bearer for the ceremony? It would give me no greater honor. I'm very invested in this partnership, Mabel. I gotta see it through. You can hit... Yep. Alrighty. Let's put them on their heads like small glowy tiaras. And then I think we can... Oh, we can't skip.
This is new, I guess.
This is new. You stand and carefully place one ring atop each animal's head. The Kings of Gravity Falls. Almost immediately after that, both of them shake their heads and the rings predictably fall off. Maybe not. Aw, they looked cute like that, though.
Mabel gasps, bright eyes wide with an idea.
Maybe I'll make them crowns so they can really be royalty. Ooh, that's pretty good. Skip.
Yeah, and skip.
Alrighty. We got some
Ford-
more Ford.
Ford takes a step forward onto the patio, peering down at you through his cracked glasses. You'd be somewhat intimidated if it wasn't for the fact that he's blushing. I appreciate that you occupied the kids for Stanley and I while we were out. Both of them seemed to like you being around. You grin at him with a shrug.
It's no problem. They're fun to hang out with, even if I'm gonna have some strange photos in Mabel's scrapbook at the end of it.
Ford smiles, sweet and almost kind. It's your turn to read. It's your turn to red? Oh, it's your turn to turn red when he looks at you like that. Well, if you'll excuse me, I've got things to get back to. Yes. He walks past you and into the house. Stan following soon after. Stan elbows Ford and it looks like he mutters something to him, but you can't hear what it was. Whatever he said, Ford looks scandalized.
Skip.
Oh.
Ford,
Find
duh.
Ford. Pass through the living room and Mabel spots you from her seat
Skip.
at the table.
We got skips.
What?
Okay, obviously. Okay, yeah, because she's like, you're into him.
Okay. Yes, Grunkle Ford's... Oh, that's you.
Uncle Ford's great with family, but he's still guarded. You're the first new person I've seen him actually get interested in. Maybe if you get to know him, he'll see that social interactions aren't so hard. And maybe love was on his horizon all along.
Love? That's a jump, to say the least. And anyway, you've had the chance to share some quality time with Ford. You still feel like there's a huge part of his history that you're missing. How much do you even know about him anyway? And why do you want to know him so much more?
Mabel, Ford and I haven't spent all that much time together. Sure, we shared a couple adventures, but... But nothing. Adventures is the perfect bonding material. I know that firsthand. But you know what would really get this chemistry going? Talking to him? But what? No, I'm thinking something more romantic. Hold on, I'm getting an idea. I'll get everything ready, regular person. You just focus on falling completely and utterly in love. Matchmaker Mabel is back in the game.
Just as you exit the talk with Mabel. Oh, skip.
Yeah.
You won't hurt Grunkle Ford.
You can trust... It doesn't matter. Why don't we say you can trust Ford? Yeah, I know. I guess we're good then. For now. And be ready at any time for your date with Grunkle Ford. This feels awkward enough. No offense, regular person. It's just my Grunkle Ford actually going on a date? Do old people even date? Kind of hard to wrap my head around. I hope Mabel doesn't ask me for my help tomorrow. I mean, I have enough trouble trying to date for myself.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
During the next few days, you, Ford, and Dipper get further into the DD and MD campaign you left off on, and you have time to flesh Alex out to complement Tyros and Vernon on the team. Dipper tells you that the 3-person troop is typically small for DD and MD group, but you've been getting the hang of the game, mostly from taking advantage of Ford's helpful nudges in the right direction. You've noticed Ford staring at you during the game sometimes, and you can't deny that you've been caught doing the same. After your fate-filled chat with Mabel, you're on edge and wait for her to pull something out of her sleeve. Every time she bursts into a room with fistfuls of crayons, you jump at least a foot in the air. But you should have been doing your best to pretend everything's normal. Or you have been doing your best to pretend everything's normal. Or at least as normal as it gets in Gravity Falls. You ventured out into town earlier today and did some tourist-worthy exploring, and ran into the Pines family at Greasy's diner about an hour later. According to a giddy Dipper and an exasperated Ford, a door to another plane had appeared in the fridge instead of food. Post-documentation and inspection, and lots of skeptical squinting from Dipper and complaints from Stan, Ford had suggested they all just wait it out. It was gone by the time he got back. You secretly hoped to catch a glimpse, but when you asked Ford about it, he assured you it was nothing special. Wouldn't have even ranked among his top 10, he said, pushing his glasses up on his nose. After that series of fridge-related events, the shack felt quiet. Dipper ventured out with his camera equipment, off to film something amazing, and stands in his office checking in with his sources, whatever that means. That leaves you and Ford both intently reading on the shack's patio. It's warm and comfortable, yet the overhanging shields your eyes from the blinding summer sunlight. You glance over at Ford, he looks calm and collected. Maybe same has been all week. Conversely, you've been a little nervous around him ever since Mabel's matchmaking interview. It's not that you haven't thought of them in that light before, it's that you never planned to actually trying it out.
Oh god.
You can always ask Mabel to call off the matchmaking thing after spending the past couple of days convinced that Mabel was going to spring an unavoidable romantic situation on you at a moment's notice. You'd rather not live with that kind of anxious anticipation. You settle back into your book, a paperback Ford lent you. It's a jargon-heavy sci-fi with an abstract cover you probably would have overlooked on a bookshelf, and you think you're about to see the first glimpse of the plot after a 3-chapter introduction.
Jesus, I know those books.
Yeah. You go to turn the page of your book, but the back door slams open. Mabel explodes onto the porch armed with oven mitts and an apron.
Regular person, Grunkle Ford, I need help and I need it now.
Ford sits up with a wide-eyed look, fixing his glasses that had been startled off the bridge of his nose. What is it? Something burning?
Is something burning in the kitchen? I need help baking.
Ford relaxes enough to leave a bookmark in his dog-eared novel and close it, but looks to Mabel with an air of bewilderment.
Granda throwing a Grustisch Hasenfürchen party for Marius when he comes to visit, and I volunteered to make cupcakes. I was like, yeah, I can totally bake a batch of cupcakes, but as it turns out...
Smoke unfurls from the back doorway, inevitably followed by the screech of the fire alarm inside. Mabel wrings her mitted hands and winces guiltily.
I can't. Bullshit that she can't bake.
Mabel rushes back into the house, you and Ford coming close after. You reach the door in time to see Ford, unruffled, drag a chair over to the smoke detector and disable it as easily as flipping a light switch. As for the smoke, you go straight for the kitchen window and open it, fanning the smoke out of the house. Mabel looks guiltily at you both, attempting to waft the smoke out with her oven mitts. Now that you really look at her, you notice there's flour on her sweater and the kitchen floor. and the kitchen counter, leading to the lopsided bag of flour surrounded by a similar mess of ingredients. Looks like you could use a hand, Mabel. Why didn't you ask for help much sooner?
I'm sorry, Grunkleford. I wanted to make them myself.
She wilts under exaggerated despair.
But I need these cupcakes, and I need your help.
She points at Ford.
And your help.
Mabel then moves her pointer finger to you. Oh dear.
Both of you absolutely need to help me with this.
She looks between the two of you with those Mabel patented puppy dog eyes, and whatever will you had left to resist crumbles immediately. You pat her shoulder reassuringly.
It's alright, Mabel. Baking is a difficult art, and even professionals have off days. And,
You glance at the oven that's still leaking lingering smoke.
I think adult supervision might be good right now.
Mabel nods, looking between you and Ford.
Well, it'll be easy peasy with you and Grunkleford helping me.
You look to Ford, and Ford just looks questioningly to Mabel. Why would you need both of us, Mabel?
Because we need to make like a bajillion of these. So many. This is a huge party. Plus, the more people that make them, the more love these cupcakes will have. There needs to be so much love in these cupcakes.
That doesn't...
Please, Grunkleford. You and regular person are super conveniently the only ones who can help me.
Super
Jesus
conveniently.
Christ.
Maybe Dipper.
He's out filming. He won't be back till sunset. It's gotta be you two.
Ford glances hopelessly out to the hallway for one moment, and Mabel gives you a conspiratorial wink while he's not looking, and then it dawns on you.
Yeah.
This is your match-made date
Yeah.
with Ford. It's getting hot in here, or is that just the oven? Well...
Please, 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 Grunkleford. Regular person's already gonna help out, right, regular person? Yes, that's what I want.
Heart picking up its pace, you hazard a look to Ford to find him looking oddly contemplative now compared to before. He looks at you for a fleeting moment. You catch out of the corner of your eye. His attention's back on Mabel by the time you register it, and Ford nods at her. All right, what do we need to do?
Sorry, I had to stretch.
Stretching's the first step.
The first thing you do for baking is stretch. Yes, okay. First rule in baking, wear an apron. There's never a wrong time to make a fashion statement.
Mabel holds two aprons out, one scarlet red and the other white. You have absolutely no idea when Mabel even retrieved these aprons in the first place, but she's already picked who gets which one. The red apron is tossed to you, and the white one is thrown to Ford. You put it on and look down at yourself to read an upside-down, burn baby burn printed across your chest, with a picture of a fiery grill beneath it. Fittingly, it smells a little like burning. Ford's apron has some green text you didn't quite catch, but as he loops it over his head and ties it around, you can read it clearly. No. You stifle a laugh as you read. Text now clear abroad over his broad chest. My other oven is a Bunsen.
Last one.
It only takes a second for Ford to flush pink with understanding, fiddling with the hem of his apron. Okay, Mabel, what's our next step?
The second rule in baking is know your recipe. It's got everything, the ingredients, the instructions, the temperature.
Ford looks at the counter and picks up a piece of paper. You guess it's the recipe, judging by the frilly-looking photo of a 3-tiered cake on the back. He scans over the ingredients, focused.
And the third rule in baking is to forget your recipe. That's only if rule 2 doesn't work out. How are we looking, Grunkleford?
I was worried we'd be short on sugar, but I think we'll make it. Oh, are you switching recipes, Mabel? There's ingredients listed here that aren't already on the counter. Mabel laughs loudly and attempts to clap Ford on the shoulder. She only manages to reach his elbow. And you suddenly suspect that whatever baked good Mabel had burned in the oven earlier was a fabricated failure. You glance at the stovetop. The open box of store-bought cookies sitting on top confirms your suspicion.
Oh, Grunkleford, you tell the best jokes.
That wasn't a joke.
Oh, look, we need flour, and I already have that out. Next.
Ford reads
Why'd
the
they
list
make him
of-
so trim?
I don't know. Ford reads the list of ingredients aloud, and Mabel darts around the kitchen, gathering them as he calls them out. You set to work finding the utensils Mabel needs, searching through unfamiliar drawers she points out to you. After opening nearly every cupboard, you come up with an array of mismatched measuring cups, 2 half teaspoons, and a dented tablespoon. Good enough.
How many cupcakes do you need for tomorrow, Mabel? At least 100.
You give her an undisguised look of incredulity, and Mabel sends back a series of gestures telling you to go along with it, pointing at Ford's thoughtful face and mouthing, "He bought it." So the recipe makes 20 to 25.
Quintuple.
Exactly what I was thinking. If we play our cards right, we can get an exact 120, making full use of the cupcake pan each time. You're bewildered that Ford doesn't question the quantity. Instead, he is starting to factor in how many acceptable cupcake pans he can find in the cupboards, grumbling as he searches through the clangs and dull thuds of other bakeware. Oof. When was the last time Stanley... Ah, there they are. It looks like we have one that's rusted and one that hasn't. Regular person, get the pan that's already in the oven. If we can manage to clean it...
No, definitely uncleanable. It's totally burnt. Batter everywhere, regular person. Can you...
Mabel makes gestures to disposing evidence of her baking failure, and you wince but nod. Seizing your chance while Ford's back is turned, you open the oven, grab whatever's inside with the oven mitt, and rush outside to drop it in the trash can, midway around the shack. Turns out to be a couple of store-bought cookies dropped in muffin pan and left to burn to a crisp. You shake the cookies out into the trash, leaving you with a still hot but perfectly serviceable pan.
Call it a miracle.
You return to the kitchen. Look,
Look, the pan is actually fine. How lucky.
Ford gives Mabel a musing look. Yes, how fortunate. Mabel gives Ford a winning smile, which must be enough because Ford lights up with a smile soon after, shaking his head fondly. You see that Ford has brought a mixing bowl out while you were gone and wiped away most of the excess flour from the counter. He settles back into the role of recipe reader now that you're back. I've already turned down the oven to the correct temperature. Mabel notably doesn't look sheepish in the slightest, still grinning in front of the mixing bowl. So our next step is to add butter.
I'll measure it out.
And so you settle into a rhythm. Mabel measures ingredients and tosses them in. Ford reads out the recipe, pausing occasionally to balance out Mabel's haphazard method of throwing ingredients into the bowl, and you mix everything into a suitable batter. 2 ingredients later, you notice that Ford rolled his sleeves up to his elbows as he works. You could get used to the sight of him like this. You don't notice Ford returning your stare until he clears his throat. Apparently your ogling lasted just a moment too long.
Oh no.
Regular person?
Yeah?
I just added the first cup of flour. You could stir it in now. Alright. Ford adds another cup as you stir the ingredients together, trying to ignore how red your face feels.
Aw, look at you two, working so well together. It's like you don't even need me to be perfect.
You know she's talking about the matchmaking, but Ford doesn't take it that way. That's not entirely accurate. You're an essential member of our baking trio. After all, who else is creative enough to come up with a unifying theme for all these cupcakes?
You're right. I haven't even thought about that yet.
Mabel, standing on a chair next to Ford to reach the counter, hops up and sits at the edge of the counter.
Lovey-dovey or lovey-dovey? I can't decide.
While Mabel works it out with her creative genius, Ford scoops out the last cup of flour, going to wipe the excess back into the bag with his finger.
Wait, I have the perfect idea.
She lifts her arm in triumph and promptly sends Ford's cup of flour flying. Ford fumbles to catch it, but ultimately fails, and the cup, along with the bag, fall into the mixing bowl, sending a mushroom cloud of flour into your faces. Flour cakes Ford's glasses along with his nose, cheeks, and forehead, and the front of his hair to the point where the color is indistinguishable from the usual streak of gray. Mabel, thankfully sitting to the side at her perch on the counter, only got half covered in the explosion of flour, even though she's already got various spots of flour all over her sweater.
Oops. It's okay, Mabel. Here, take this and dust the flour off.
Mabel attempts to brush flour off of her sweater as Ford takes off his glasses, blowing puffs of white from the lenses and wiping them clean with the hem of his turtleneck. He manages to clear most of the flour off his skin, but he's missed his spot.
Ford?
I'm fine. I've had many messier adventures in my time than a bit of flour.
No, that's not it. Brush his hair out yourself.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun. We're getting
over.
cozy in the cone over here.
You reach over to brush it out. Ford gives you an uncertain expression but stands still, letting you make contact. Your fingers only run through his hair for a second, but it was enough time for you to register how fluffy and flowery it is. You can't help but smile that tugs at your lips as you finish.
Oh my god. You just had some flour there.
Did I? Mabel has stopped
God.
dusting herself off and is now looking between you and Ford with such anticipation that you're getting self-conscious under her attention. Ford seems to notice too, because he takes an unnecessary step back and awkwardly clears his throat. Right, flour, mistake, let's fix it. The 3 of you take a moment to stare at the disaster zone on the counter.
Looks like the only thing we can do now is Guess how much flour was added and scale the amounts of the rest of the ingredients to match it?
I was going to start over. But that's a brilliant idea, regular person. Let's do it. Mabel, do you have another bowl for this operation?
Good thing I found this mega big bowl for mixing.
Mabel presents a vessel more akin to a tub than a mixing bowl. It's clean though, and Ford transfers the batter over.
Good call, Mabel. Are you secretly a psychic? Nope, it's just a little thing I like to call the power of Mabel.
She does exaggerated jazz hands, shaking more flour off in the process. The three of you laugh before beginning the post-flour mission. Due to the mishap, you now need 4 times the other ingredients to match the flour that got dumped into the bowl, an inconvenience but not impossible. As you measure out more sugar, you spot Ford adding to the bowl by cracking 2 eggs at a time in each hand. Show off. The kitchen is quiet during the bustling of measuring, adding, and remixing, but after a couple of minutes, Mabel sighs.
What's up, Mabel? I don't know, regular person. It feels silly to talk about.
Nothing is too silly. Well, that's a broad statement. But the point is, we're willing to listen.
Well, Grenda and Marius are throwing this party on Marius's yacht, right?
You have no idea who either of these people are, but play along for Mabel's sake.
Yeah? They're really getting into that romance zone. Grenda even told me that they kissed.
Ford only gives us a mild acknowledgement, so you have to amp up the reaction zone.
They did not. They did so! Can you believe that? I seriously cannot believe that.
Ford looks lost as he continues to mix the batter together.
And I'm really happy for Grenda. I am, but sometimes I feel a little jealous. Grenda's like one of my best friends. I don't get why I can't just be happy for her without feeling this way. Everyone feels that way. All you can do is try your best to stay positive for her, even if you're feeling a little bitter inside. And just know that eventually this feeling will pass. Really, everybody gets this way, even with friends. It doesn't mean you're a bad friend or anything. Thanks, regular person. And anyway, if this is about the romance, Mabel, you're only a teenager. You might feel like you're watching your friends get married and settle down so quickly, but that doesn't start happening until you get to 25. You're a wonderful girl. You're smart, pretty, and you can probably make a mean batch of cupcakes. I know that whoever you end up loving will be lucky to have you, and that perfect relationship will come your way, in time.
Mabel seems to brighten, and she smiles at you gratefully. Then she looks thoughtful.
Getting married. I wonder when someone I know will get married.
She's not specific, but Ford pointedly coughs into his fist.
Wait, we need to make these cupcakes extra special before we can bake them.
I thought they already were. Weren't we going to split this into 3 parts, add food coloring, and marble them and...
No, that's just special. I'm thinking extra special. I'm thinking explosion rocks. You mean that tiny candy that makes your mouth all tingly? Exactly. I'm gonna go grab my supply.
Of course she has a bunch. Mabel dashes out to get the candy, leaving you and Ford alone in the kitchen.
We got the picture.
Normally you'd expect the atmosphere to turn awkward, but you find yourself anticipating something instead. You give Ford a smile.
Good job calculating how much we needed to salvage the cupcakes.
Ford laughs, leaning back against the counter. Oh, I just eyeballed it and adjusted based on the batter's apparent viscosity. No calculation involved. And, well, I couldn't let all our hard work go to waste after you suggested salvaging it.
I don't get it. You wanted to start over?
Well, I had a whole plan in mind. We were going to quintuple the recipe, and now it's more like octuple. But I think this was the better route to take. Now that I think about it, that was the last of our flour. Wait, damn. Stanley needs flour for pancakes this week.
Would he take cupcakes for breakfast instead? We're gonna have plenty of extra.
Knowing him, I think the probability is very high. You're about to say something else, leaning in to continue the conversation, when Mabel re-enters the room. She's carrying a cardboard box stuffed to the brim with bright packets of explosion rocks.
I'm back. All right, let's add these puppies in and make some cupcake magic.
You and Ford start helping Mabel decant the explosion rocks into the batter. Ford glances at you as you shake the last packet into the bowl. Both of you know that the consumers of cupcakes will get an unpleasant surprise from them exploding in their mouth, especially since the multicolored candy makes the batter look like an unassuming funfetti cupcakes. Then it's time to split the batter and marble them in the pan. The 3 colors Mabel chose are deep purple, blue, and pink. which she says ties in perfectly with her theme.
Her lovey-dovey theme?
I guess.
Oh, so are you going to tell us what the theme is yet? Nope, let's get these in the oven.
Ford picks up both pans and sticks them in the oven to bake. There's still plenty of batter in the mixing bowl. You've barely skimmed the surface with the first batch. You and Ford share another look.
Oh. We love playing the visual novels too. Yes, they're always fun.
Oh gosh, I didn't even realize.
We have comments. Yeah.
Ah. There we go.
There we go. All right, it's time for the best part, frosting.
Just to answer one thing from Team Dynamite, Halo 5, we've been playing the PC versions of all the Halo games, so that can't happen. Ryan doesn't have an Xbox. We have talked about maybe him coming over because I have an Xbox and we do it like couch co-op style, but that I don't know when that might happen. And Halo Infinite, we are afraid my computer will explode because it's probably not strong enough to run it. Not at the time, but anyway. Anyway.
What kind do we have? It's not what kind do we have. It's what kind are we making?
Mabel presents another recipe card.
Ford's like, oh, fuck.
Oh,
no. I thought we were done.
Thankfully, the frosting is far easier to make than the batter. By the time you and Mabel will separate the sugary result into a few different bowls for coloring, the first batch of cupcakes came out of the oven 10 minutes ago and have cooled down on the counter. As Mabel puts it, they're ready to be Mabelified. Ford grins at her as he starts dyeing a bowl of icing bright pink. Decorating the cupcakes is by far the most fun part of the afternoon. The three of you sit around the kitchen table. Mabel purposefully sits you and Ford next to each other while she takes the remaining spot, and you use different frosting tips to make designs on all of the cupcakes. Mabel had finally revealed her theme to be outer space because the space is full of romance. And this way I can say their compatibility is out of this world. So the three of you cover marbled cupcakes and galaxy-worthy combinations of food-colored frosting.
Beautiful.
Ford, to put it simply, is delighted by the theme.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure the constellations he painstakingly iced on his last 25 cupcakes would pass as illustrations in a stargazer's guide. In the middle of completing a second Orion, Ford gets some icing on his face. A drip of blue somehow made it onto his chin, probably from testing the icing to make sure it tasted good. It did, of course. Mabel kicks you from under the table.
Ow. Shh.
And she nods her head at Grunkle.
No.
She nods her head at her Grunkle, giving you a meaningful look that Ford completely misses. He wipes most of it off, but there's now a streak of blue at his cheek, so you...
Wipe it off for him.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah, we do.
Mabel watches you both expectantly, but you aren't sure you have the guts to do what she really wants to have happen. And besides, you're not sure Ford's ready for that. You opt for plan B instead.
Here, I'll get it.
You reach over with a napkin to gently wipe the streak away.
They're both like scandalized.
Hoping he doesn't notice how your hand shakes with the nerves from the close proximity. Ford is also hyper aware of how close the two of you are now, and you can't ignore how his gaze drops from your eyes to your lips as you inch closer to wipe the icing away.
Did we get another comment I can't see from here?
No. Sydney is still saying
Yeah.
that. We did play all of Beastly. We should play it again.
Oh. No, we need something else that's just as bad, but we haven't found something quite as fun. B-Movie was fun, though.
B-Movie was fun.
That one scratched that horrible.
GameStop doesn't have, the old games anymore. We always look through and, there's not really anything great to...
We need the horrible movie tie-in games. Especially since they're not being made anymore.
What's funny is that the PS5 has a few of them, but streaming from the PS5 is a little weird for extra life anyway. Anyway.
There. I got it.
Ford's cheeks almost match his sweater.
Ow!
Oh, thank you, regular person. Eventually, the three of you finish decorating over 100 cupcakes. Looking at them all lined up on the counter, you can really see the decline in quality as you, Ford, and Mabel got worn out. The last few has frosting in solid colors, with just a handful of star-shaped sprinkles on top.
I can't believe we're finally done.
Yes, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I've had enough of the night sky to last me the rest of the week.
Oh, but we're not done.
Mabel, no.
Oh, God, Mabel.
Mabel sounds about as peppy as she has all day, even though she must be as tired as you and
No,
Ford.
she's running on Mabel juice. You remember that? It was like energy drink with juice and sparkles.
Right. Well, it's also she's a child.
Yeah. There's just one last thing to do.
Clean up, because we have a huge mess here.
No, Grunkle Ford. More important than that. More urgent. More desperately needed.
Ford looks perplexed. What could that be?
The glitter.
Oh, no. Mabel pulls
Oh,
out
no.
over a sizable tub of blue edible glitter that had been sitting at the back corner of the counter for, you're guessing, the whole afternoon you've been in here. Unscrewing the lid reveals its sparkling, shiny contents. Each of you grab handfuls of glitter, sparkling liberally over each cupcake.
God.
The only person who seems to be hesitating is Ford, who keeps stopping to attempt glitter gradients in order to keep his earlier icing work clear of glitter. Mabel always comes in after him, though, and fills the blanks so that the whole thing
What's the point
sparkles.
of him doing the nice icing?
Soon enough, the tub is left nearly empty.
Oh, God.
Great.
Great. All of these are for the party. Just Mabel's voice suddenly.
Great. All of these are for the party.
Except this one's for Dipper, this one's for Grunkle Stan, this one's for Waddles.
Mabel puts the exceptions aside, and in the end, the three of you grab a cupcake each as a reward for an afternoon's hard work. You tap them together in a pseudo toast and absolutely devour them. The cupcakes taste odd, but that's what makes it amazing. It's probably the explosion rocks. You can detect the faint spice of love and adoration.
It's probably the sheer quantity of glitter that was put on there.
You can actually taste it.
Yeah.
A good, if not perfect, cupcake. The remaining cupcakes are strategically fitted into the pantry among the cheese boodles and other various snack foods, ready to be brought out to the party tomorrow afternoon. Mabel stretches and yawns dramatically before grabbing the plate of cupcakes that had been set aside.
Well, I better get these over to the boys. You know how Grunkle Stan gets when he smells something cooking and doesn't get a taste.
Oh.
You okay?
You're not quite sure you do, but Ford nods knowingly. So it must be true.
Anyway, I'll leave you two lovebirds alone. Thanks for the help, and you're welcome for my help. Jesus, Mabel.
Mabel sends a wink and a finger gun as she leaves. Your heart freezes in your chest as Ford looks at Mabel's exit with an unreadable look, then faces you.
You see...
I know what's going on.
Oh, no!
This isn't the first time Mabel's tried to find my match. You can't find words to express your mixture of relief and confusion. Ford explains. I suppose she's at that age where kids are thinking about romance and dating. Stanley and I are just two of her recent subjects for these compatibility experiments. Last time, Mabel reached out to Mermando to set me up with a merman. She didn't tell me about what kind of situation it was, so I unknowingly grilled him with enough scientific queries about mer people to send him back underwater with a grumpy burble. Ford gives you a small, genuine smile. But I can't say that it's all been bad. After all, I haven't managed to repeat that kind of mistake here yet. Oh.
So how do you think this match is going?
Ford shrugs, though he's been sporting a light blush. I think this one has potential.
Oh, boy.
You both look around the disaster scene of the kitchen. Since Mabel conveniently had other things to do, she left you and Ford with the task of cleaning everything. Ford rolls his sleeves up and adjusts his glasses. Come on, let's get this kitchen cleaned up. Damn, the bar went higher there.
Oh, yeah. All right.
You don't think you've been more nervous in your life? Mabel came with you yesterday when you went shopping for extra clothes. Since Stan's mechanic skills left your car still being worked on and you realized you needed more clothes than you packed. However, she managed to sneak in a relatively fancy set of clothes to add to your pile of summer-appropriate clothing, and she flourishes them in your direction with a wide, brace-filled face grin.
Ta-da! For tonight.
You stare at the fancy outfit like it's going to jump out of Mabel's hands and attack you.
Mabel, are you sure Ford agreed to this? Of course he did. I asked him and everything. He dropped whatever he was working on instantly and hit the other stuff on his desk, which fell on the floor. Then he said, I'd love to, but I'd need a fashion makeover. Please help me, Mabel. You're my favorite great niece. Okay, so he actually said something else, but he said yes at the end of it. Now come on, I have to put the finishing touches on this perfect date. Get dressed, then come to the living room.
She shoves the clothes at you and leaves you in the room to get yourself ready. Oh.
What do I do? I'm so nervous.
Is that one?
There's no option.
Oh, okay.
So.
You put on the outfit Mabel left
Jesus,
for
what's
you.
Dipper's 1,000-yard stare?
And head to the living room where Dipper promptly guards the way into the kitchen with his noodle arms.
Mabel wants me to keep you in here until Great Uncle Ford is ready. Oh, okay then, I'll stay here.
You take a seat in Stan's recliner, trying to look relaxed and composed, but your shaking hands give you away to Dipper, who's reading in front of the door.
You look nice. I know Mabel picked it. I kind of helped, but it's nice.
He's trying to distract you, sweet kid. You smile at him. He smiles back before returning to his book, The Field Guide to Bigfoot.
Regular person, you can come in now.
You jolt to your feet, heart in your throat. What do you do?
Here goes nothing.
Dipper stands up and awkwardly pats your hand.
Just be yourself, regular person. Great Uncle Ford likes you. I can tell. Trust me.
He gently shoves you towards the kitchen door. It looms in front of you menacingly.
Now go get him, Tiger. Was that weird to say? Good luck out there dating my great uncle. Gross. Anyway.
With surprising strength, Dipper pushes you through the door as Mabel opens it and you stumble into the kitchen. Look up and... Oh God. Oh God, Ford's dressed up too. He's in a three-piece suit with a maroon necktie. How did Mabel know your only weakness? Well, that and... Wait. Yes, flowers. You make eye contact after examining one another, and you feel your face flush as red as his. Mabel beams, clapping her little hands together.
Yay, now it's the moment we've all been waiting for, the Mabel certified dinner date of dreams. I knew Grunkle Ford would be hopeless on a romantic dinner date on his own, so I'm here to make this one perfect.
Oh no, did you cook the dinner?
Oh no.
You only now notice she's wearing a bright pink apron and something smells very burnt.
No, Mabel. I'm sorry, it's you.
Dipper pushes you further into the kitchen and Mabel shoves Ford forward, and the two of you stumble almost into colliding with one another. Ford straightens up and clears his throat. His face is red as his tie. Well, these are for you, regular person. Take a closer look at the bouquet and discover that a third of the bouquet are real flowers. They look to have been picked from outside the shack. Another third are pipe cleaner flowers with glittery petals, and another third are origami lilies. Judging by both Ford and Dipper's paper cuts and Mabel's sparkly, sticky fingers, they collaborated to make your bouquet themselves. This is the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life.
How many paper cuts?
Ford laughs, rubbing the back of his neck with his free hand as you take the flowers from him. Quite a lot, unfortunately. Mabel found a tutorial on the lot. I didn't read it wrong. I thought I was reading it wrong.
Online, Grunkle Ford. Online.
Isn't that what I said? And Dipper and I worked on them yesterday.
They're beautiful, Ford. Thank you.
Ford blushes, grinning bashfully at you.
And Dipper, of course.
Dipper smiles at you too, but with an awkward laugh. Dipper takes flowers off of you and manages to stuff the bouquet into an empty 2-liter bottle of Pit, trademark, sticking it into the middle of the table.
Because remember, there's Pit soda that they have, and there's actually a pit inside of the soda.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Ugh. So you can't see Ford anymore once you sit down. And carefully scoot the vase to the side until Ford's pink cheeks and nervous expression are visible again, even if you're certain you look even more pink with embarrassment.
Well, I'll leave you guys to it then. Chef Mabel, you ready? Sure am, bro. So ready.
Mabel is standing on a stool and readying 2 plates of food, the contents of which you can't see yet due to the mass of her hair and Dipper's hat. Ford waves at you and you turn to him, leaning forward so he can whisper to you. Do you have any idea what's going on over there?
Let me see if this one has, because my phone timed out. Jelly beans.
Oh, really? Not if I get to them first.
What if he just seriously was like, no, you're not eating them. Just
those
me.
Are my jelly beans. The two of you share some intense eye contact in the name of rivalry before you start laughing, and Ford grins at you, shaking his head. Mabel whirls around and hops off the stool, brandishing 2 glasses of something disturbingly bubblegum pink. She places them down on the table with a flourish.
Ta-da! 2 tall glasses of Mabel juice. Oh no. Oh no, they're never gonna sleep and also gonna have diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't there also plastic dinosaurs in it?
I don't remember.
Such a delicacy.
Oh, good. You glance at Ford, giving him a face of play along, please don't leave me alone in this. Oh, yes, Mabel, this looks truly exquisite. Pray tell, what's your method?
Are the plastic dinosaurs and Monopoly pieces just decoration for this fine creation?
You were right.
I've watched that show too many times.
Mabel is too busy giggling at you both to answer, and she thankfully doesn't notice that neither of you touch your drinks. Ford's too busy smiling at you from across the table as you ask Mabel about her secret ingredients for maple juice and whether she used a blender or a food processor to mix it all together, calling it a true work of art.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, on to the main course. Voila!
Mabel turns back to the stove and grabs 2 plates of food covered with cloth. She places one in front of Ford and one in front of you before stretching across the table and pulling both cloths off the plates at once. What awaits you on each plate is horrifying, to say the least. There's a plate of 3 very burnt chicken nuggets, dinosaur chicken nuggets, if you'd expect anything else. Some half-wet, half-dry noodles with a slice of cheese draped across the top, and a handful of jelly beans, the special ingredient, of course.
Yikes. The Mabel Special. I'm not a fancy cook. I'm just a cute little girl. But I slaved away at this romantic dinner for the 2 of you, dang it.
I'm just a baby.
I don't have any money. I can pay you in blocks.
Mabel, this looks... Ford looks to you, panicked.
I'm not exactly sure what to eat first.
Yeah, that's
the one it says. There are so many choices. I'd suggest cleansing your palate with the jelly beans first, then digging right into the mac and cheese. I got that bit from one of those weird cooking shows Grunkle Stan left on TV when he fell asleep.
Oh boy.
Oh God. How come we don't have dates like this?
Yeah, okay. We have to have a child cook for us.
That's true. Or I could make that.
it's like, or you cook. Now that's an idea I could get behind. The jelly beans, I mean.
Not if I steal your jelly beans first. This is gonna just end the relationship before it starts.
Ford arches a brow at you, but he grins at your pseudo challenge. You can take my jelly beans, all right? Over my burnt chicken nuggets.
You're on.
You and Ford dig into the jelly beans, going as far as to try and spear them on your forks to play the part of high cuisine dinner. Ford seems to relax a little as the dinner continues.
Is Mabel just watching?
Yep, she definitely is. But once the last jelly bean has been eaten, the 2 of you go silent once
Because we
again.
don't want to eat the rest of it.
Ford glances between you and the remains of his food, swallowing hard. Mabel rushes in to save the date.
Oh, of course. I forgot the sauces and stuff. Silly Mabel.
Oh no, what are you about to put on the plates?
Oh no.
Mabel goes into the fridge and grabs bottles of ketchup, mustard.
I'm waiting for maple syrup.
Oh, ketchup and mustard, placing them on the table next to...
Is that the blue glitter we used on the cupcakes? Oh no! Yep, you're lucky there's still some left.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Why is it here?
Garnish, silly.
Oh no. What do you garnish your meal
no.
with? Has to be the glitter, right?
Yeah, it's the glitter.
Oh boy. You pick up the glitter and shake some onto the burnt chicken nuggets. While they're now blue and twinkly, the glitter hides the burnt bits and makes the nuggets look a little bit more fabulous. Why?
They're pretty now. Add a little glitter and anything is possible.
Ford laughs and you hold the bottle of glitter in front of him, shaking it enticingly.
Come on, join me with my pretty nuggets. That's a line.
That is, if you say so. Ford decorates his nuggets with glitter and your respective plates shine under the kitchen light. Mabel looks at you both expectantly, like you're going to chow down to your dinners now that they've been appropriately sauced up.
Eat up, you've still got a lot of food left.
Mm-hmm.
Attempt to eat the nugget.
Okay. You gingerly pick up one of the chicken nuggets and take a very, very small bite out of the edge. It's crispy and burnt, but edible to some extent. You swallow your bite and quickly take a sip of your drink. Ford stares at you in total awe, like you just defeated a gremlin with one punch. You have glitter on your mouth.
Oh, I do? Where?
You lean forward in question, and Ford carefully reaches his arm over
Oh
the
my
table,
God.
wiping the glitter from your bottom lip. Both of you flush at the gentle contact, especially since all the while he's gazing down at your mouth, hopefully thinking the same thing you are. There, got it. He quickly sits back down in his chair and you do the same, avoiding eye contact until your faces turned back from red. Mabel squeals in the corner, clapping her hands together. That's you. That's you now.
It's not in a good way. I'm laughing because this is so bad.
Sure. Mabel stares at you
God,
both,
no.
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, awaiting some sort of magic to happen. You swallow nervously to look forward before you cup your hand at the side of your mouth, hiding your mouth words from Mabel's eye.
I have an idea.
You tap your head with your other hand, charting your idea further. Ford gestures across the table as if to say the floor is yours.
Sweating nervously.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You sweat a lot, and it's not from the Mabel juice.
Oh no, regular person. Are you too hot? Are you okay? I'm fine. It's just...
Wait, an idea, at last.
It's sort of hot in here, Mabel. Can you go turn the thermostat down, please?
Ford nods, theatrically tugging at his collar. Yes, Mabel, it's exceedingly warm in here. Can you please go turn the heat down?
Of course. Anything to make you two lovebirds comfortable.
Mabel hops down from her stool and snaps her fingers at the two of you.
No canoodling while I'm No! Mabel! Mabel, no! No!
She leaves you both red-faced and stammering as she skips out the door. Ford turns to you, smiling nervously. Regular person, I know Mabel tried her best, but I'm not accustomed to the dating game, as Stan calls it. For the first time in a while, I don't know what to do. Do you? You stop thinking for a moment. Dipper told you something earlier that day, an idea in case the Mabel certified date of dreams went awry. You suppose this is a perfect moment to enact Plan B.
All right, but we gotta act fast. Watch my movements.
You pick up your plate, and the struggle not to laugh as Ford mimics you almost perfectly, and shovel the contents of your dinner into Waddle's mouth. The piglet chews, swallows, and nuzzles your leg. Really?
According to Dipper, Waddles will eat anything. You give him yours too, that way it looks like we ate.
You hear footsteps thudding down the hallway. Mabel's on her way back.
And quick!
You gently push Waddles towards Ford, who quickly feeds him the rest of the dinner. Waddles snorts happily at the two of you before settling between your feet, content and full.
And I'm back. Hey, you guys were just kidding around. What did you think of the dinner?
Waddles burps.
Perfect.
Absolutely delicious, Mabel. You're quite the chef, you know. Mabel beams happily at you both.
Also, Mabel, can we take dessert to go? I want to take Ford somewhere on this date.
Ford flushes scarlet at that. Mabel looks between the two of you and nods, waggling her eyebrows at you.
You sly dog, of course. Oh, Mabel.
With a popsicle each, you lead Ford away from the shack, away from town, and up a hill. Where are we going?
Oh, this is it, but...
You point upwards with your popsicle. And? A meteor shower?
The timing seemed almost too perfect. I didn't want to miss out on seeing it with you.
You both blush as you sit down, shoulder to shoulder. I'm surprised you went looking into meteor showers, regular person.
Well,
The name.
Well, after our last time searching for anomalies, I got curious about other celestial stuff. Also, Dipper told me about it. Plan B.
Ford laughs. That kid's bright. The twins are both very smart and very close for siblings. Ford pauses, and it's obvious there's something on his mind.
What's the matter, Ford? There's no,
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter.
Ford turns to you, his mouth open, as if he was going to say more, but he closes it. I'm surprised at how close they are. Practically inseparable. Stanley and I were never like that.
You seem like you are now. What happened?
Well, we were very close, best friends, but once we got to high school, things changed. You realize that Ford's hand is resting a few inches from yours, casually, so casually that you're almost casual Fridays themselves. You scoot your hand closer
Oh
to
my
his,
God.
still too nervous to take it for yourself. Is it weird that I actually want, like, chicken nuggets now?
No, I want chicken nuggets too. I don't think that it matters. So, did something happen?
Well, yes, something happened. Ford sighs, leaning back onto his palms. He notices your hand near his, thinks for a moment, but decides to keep talking instead. Stan and I had planned since we were children. We were going to set up on a boat and sail far away from our New Jersey home, far away from our family, friends, and everyone. Just him and me and the Stan of War, the boat we fixed up. I had a chance at admission into college of my dreams. My other dreams, anyway. I always thought the Stanna War was a lost childhood fantasy, and that one day we'd grow up and go on our separate ways. But we wouldn't be as close as we used to be. My acceptance into said college hinged on the results of my science fair project, a perpetual motion machine that I designed. The machine was flawless. The calculations were triple checked. I had rehearsed my full presentation and preparation. I could practically see myself at that university, studying with endless resources at my disposal and getting several doctorates. Ford sighs again, rubbing his temples. But
That was me. But
it was the day of the science fair. The admissions team for the university were there in front of me, ready to view my machine. I pulled out the cloth cover and it was broken. My entire future was ruined.
oh, Ford.
A perpetual motion machine has one job, not to stop. The admissions team left, crossing me off their considerations, rejecting my entire presentation. My calculations, my hard work, my chances of going to my dream school, scrapped. It wasn't until I found a bag of toffee peanuts on the ground that I realized Stan had something to do with it. After that, we didn't talk for years. 10 years. I went to university, but it wasn't exactly my first choice. And it wasn't until I came to Gravity Falls that I saw Stan again, and he cuts himself off sharply, deep in reflection. He looks so heartbroken,
He
so
does.
sad.
He really does. Look at him. Take his hand.
You gently rest your hand atop his. He glances down at your touch, but doesn't take his hand away. Rather, he slowly twists his wrist and intertwines your fingers with his.
You don't have to keep going if it hurts.
No, I'm fine. It's been good to talk about it, in retrospect. Ford sucks in a deep breath. We fought. I hurt him. It wasn't on purpose, but I still hurt him. Then an accident happened, and I lost him again. I didn't see him for another 30 years after that. You're tempted to pry to ask what the accident was, but Ford seems finished with his story. He swallows nervously, awaiting a response.
Sorry. None of these matter, so let's see. Everything's better now?
Okay. Yes, of course. Wait, no, I don't know. I was selfish when I came back. I blamed him for everything. In a way, it is his fault, but he did his best to keep us together. Ford exhales. He looks tired, wiser than you remember. The man you played...
Wiser.
I don't know. The man you played Dungeons, and more dungeons seems to have disappeared. You're right, regular person.
I am?
Ford turns and faces you. He squeezes your hand. You are. I never looked at it like that. I never looked at you like that. You're smarter than I expected. Man, it's hot up on this hill. Sweltering even. Maybe that's just you. Who knows?
It's because I'm hot. Well, I have my moments, I suppose.
I don't mean that kind of smart, regular person.
You're not smart at all.
I mean a different sort of smart. You're kind and caring and he suddenly realizes how close you both are. And I've never met anyone as wonderful as you.
The feeling's mutual, Ford.
What do you do?
Oh, boy. You know what? Look at the last one.
True love's high five.
I guess kiss his cheek.
Dun dun dun. You lean forward a little. Ford
Oh
stiffens.
no.
Are you sure that?
Ford.
You cup his cheek in the palm of your hand, duck to the other side of his face, and gently press your lips to his cheek. His cheeks both flush pink, and you can feel the warmth under your fingertips. Wow.
Better than the burned chicken nuggets?
Ford snorts, resting his forehead against yours. Far better. Unbelievably better. The two of you head back towards the shack, hand in hand in a comfortable silence. Once you reach the door, Ford grins sheepishly. I wanted to say thank you for tonight, for being there for me.
Anytime, Ford. I had a great time.
You stand at the door to his house like two teenagers on a first date. Well, you are, you suppose.
And, hopefully we can have more dates like this.
Ford flushes red at the mere mention of a date, which is so adorable you start laughing. Yes, we shall most definitely have to engage in more of these dates with you and myself. Dating.
Oh my God.
You smile at him and his blush further spreads to the tips of his ears. He exhales, tugging at his collar. Well, if I get to see you smile like that again, then I'd be happy to have more dates. It's your turn to flush pink. As you both laugh and you both laugh as the front door swings open. Standing in the doorway is Mabel, who looks relieved to see you both.
Where did you go? I gave you dessert and you abandoned me. You sly kids sneaking off to go have fun by yourselves. Did you have fun?
You and Ford glance at each other, grinning. We certainly did.
I'm so glad. Now come inside before you get bitten by mosquitoes.
Dipper yells from inside.
Mine spell out... Does that spell dating?
Both yourself and Ford shout, "What?" simultaneously at that.
He's making that up for comedic effect. They really just look like a cat paw today.
Dipper appears at the front door with Mabel scratching at his arm.
Yeah, I did. You want to see the cat paw, though?
You turn to Ford, who looks very excited to see this connect the
My
dots of
God.
mosquito bites.
We'd love to, Dipper.
I bet it doesn't have 6 toe beans.
Ah, toe beans! Come on, Dipper, I want to see now.
Mabel grabs you, Dipper grabs Ford, and you're both tugged into the shack, your laughter echoing it into the woods around the house.
Only one more section to go.
Dun dun dun! The dates continue in a quiet alcove above the Gravity Falls Library and on the roof of the shack past midnight. They're simple compared to the production Mabel whipped up for the night of the meteor shower, but Ford seems more comfortable this way, and really, so are you. You've learned more about him, but it's like he's still holding something back. In your conversations, it feels less like he's spent a year sailing... It feels less like he's just spent a year away sailing, more like he spent half his life in another universe. For instance, during that afternoon at the library, he'd attempted to print nearly 3 decades worth of academic papers in physics, and you had to remind him about the existence of PDF downloads and USB drives. But whatever past he's hiding, you're not sure you'll ever find out. The magic stands worked on your car has rendered it almost operational again, meaning that your time at Gravity Falls is coming to a close, and that today is the last date you'll have with Ford.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. You arrive at the Gravity Falls community pool just a minute after sunset. Pinks, oranges, and yellows streak across the sky like a splash of maple juice. Despite it being after hours for the community pool, the front gate is open. Thanks, Dipper. And you sidle inside, taking in the abandoned floaties and the one several times special edition soggy towel on the floor. A few minutes pass before Ford arrives, signaled by his accidental slip on said several times towel and a quiet curse at his clumsiness.
Don't worry, I nearly stood on it too.
Someone must have left it behind, though maybe for good reason. He picks up the towel between forefinger and thumb, and something sticky drips off of Deep Chris's forehead. Ford shudders and drops it again. Children and their boy bands.
Make sure Mabel's not around to hear that. I'm fairly certain she'd disown you.
What? Did it just crash? What? Oh, okay, that was
Oh,
weird.
I was so worried.
Good, still streaming? Okay, we're good. At least Baba actually had some good songs back in the day.
I still can't believe on the Book of Bill website we have Dipper just singing Baba songs.
Oh, yeah. Ford turns to you and you notice something. His curious expression softens as you stare at him, and he makes his way over to you, tilting his head down in your direction. Curse him for being so dang tall and cute, even though...
Ford?
Yes?
You have a California fridge magnet stuck to your forehead?
What? Ford immediately brushes bright red, eyes wide in surprise. Really?
Peel it off his forehead.
You pull the magnet off his forehead, examine it for a moment, and then lightly tap at his nose with it. He flushes a somehow deeper pink, grinning bashfully at you. Ford sits on the edge of the pool and dangles his feet in, having not worn a swimsuit. You have one on under your clothing, but you're kind of nervous to get undressed.
There is nothing for that one. Strip.
Okay. You shrug and start taking off your clothes, which probably startles Ford into an even deeper embarrassment.
Hell yeah.
You sit with Ford on the edge of the pool, swinging your legs back and forth in the water. The two of you sit in silence for a moment.
Do you go swimming a lot?
Me? No. I used to swim a lot as a child, since we lived close to the ocean, but now, not really.
Why not?
Never had the time, I suppose. I was always so busy with my work that I never realized we even had a community pool until Mabel told me about it. It goes quiet again. Ford's hand skims across the surface of the water, tracing tiny waves with his fingers. He looks to be deep in thought, like something's troubling him.
Stay silent.
Really?
Yep.
You stay silent and instead start swirling your finger in the water too, occasionally curling your finger around his. It's an accident, of course. Eventually, you both stop messing with the water and leave your fingers linked together, which gradually turns into his hand taking yours and all of your fingers intertwining, knuckles brushing against the water. Ford swallows. Out of the corner of your eye, you see his face is tinted pink, and it's probably not from the sunset. He seems nervous, more nervous than on your and Mabel certified date of dreams, which is strange considering the context. That one was pretty forced.
Ford,
Do you trust me?
Jesus.
Question comes in one breath. Out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
His grip on your
One
hand
breast,
tightens.
huh?
Yep. What do you say?
Why do you ask?
Really?
Yep.
He rubs the back of his neck with his free hand. Small reflexive gesture, 6 fingers dipping beneath the high collar of his sweater. There are things that I still haven't told you yet. Things about myself. Things I'm not sure you'd like. Of course, there's the great Uncle Ford side of things, what with Dipper and Mabel, but, you don't really know what happened to me while I was studying here 30 years ago.
When you're ready, you can tell me. Ford, you don't have to go into detail about it if you aren't ready to.
Ford looks down at the water, at his reflection. He frowns, closes his eyes, and thinks for a moment. You've proven yourself to be a good companion, to put it lightly. Of course, the whole dating thing. He blushes. Ford coughs when you start giggling. What I mean is, there's nothing out about you that could do me significant harm.
Just wait until I peel off my human skin and become a lizard person.
Within the set of species residing on this earth, there exists a race of lizard people, and surely they walk among us, regular person. That subject is no joking matter.
Jesus Christ.
You stare at him, an eyebrow raised. Both of you burst out laughing, the sound echoing around the empty pool. In the corner of your eye, you notice Ford scooting closer to you. Regular person, you haven't heard of Gravity Falls until while you crashed in the shack because of my magnet gun, correct?
I read about the shack being a tourist trap in Oregon, but that's about it. Gravity Falls wasn't even on my map. Why do you ask?
That's to be expected. Most people don't know about Gravity Falls until they see it for themselves, or do elaborate research on it. Remember when we went hunting for the Mothman, how I warned you about the other creatures that can be found in the woods and around town?
You mean the leprechaun and the gremlin, blah, blah, blah.
There's so many more oddities, bizarre creatures, geographical anomalies, secret societies, and strange townspeople. Like I've said before, this unique concentration of weirdness is what drew me to Gravity Falls in the first place, and made it the perfect place to conduct my research.
Why was the weirdness centralized to Gravity Falls?
Exactly, that's what I wondered. My biggest question during these studies was why?
Why?
Why was this town so strange? I tried to find an answer, a unifying theory that would pull my research together and finally grant me success. But I hit a wall in my search. I had no ideas, no leads, with nothing and no one to help me until I found a being by the name of Bill Cipher. He came to me in my dreams, claiming he was a godly muse, a friend, someone who could do a lot with little help, and I believed him. Ford continues with a certain bitterness you've certainly never heard in his tone before. I put my unconditional trust in him. I asked for his wisdom, for his guidance, put him on a godly pedestal and worshipped him, even going so far as to litter my house with his lit image. Oh.
The door one, the middle.
Did you build the door?
Yeah.
Well, when I consulted Bill about my unifying theory, he told me that my answer lay in another dimension, and that he could help me build a portal to it. Obviously, I built it without hesitation, without thought, and instead of being a doorway to a weirdness dimension, as I had been led to believe, it turned out to be a lead to the nightmare realm, Bill's realm. He had tricked me. All he had wanted to do was cross into our dimension and model it into his chaotic image. I shut the portal down before his plans could be realized, but it was too late. My mind was in shambles from Bill's influence. I should have ended it. I should have torn the portal down, but I put so much into making it work, I hid the instructions for its operation instead. I tried to entrust the piece of it to Stanley, but after 10 years apart, Ford pauses, sucking in a deep breath. We fought. In the midst of it all, one of us pushed a button and pulled the switch. The portal was reactivated that day, and I was pulled into it. Spent the next 30 years in that portal, searching for the answer to a new question. how to defeat Bill once and for all, but I was pulled back to this dimension, my home dimension, too early, and all this frustration came crushing down. In this tiny town in a grand multiverse, I truly believed I was meant for something more. Bill told me that I would change the world. I never questioned if it would be for better or worse.
I think I saw an option for this one. Let me triple check. Yep. So, you were doing what you thought was best.
At the time, of course, but I didn't realize the repercussion of my actions would be so catastrophic.
But you did it, right?
Did what?
Built the portal, left, came back, etc. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
I did, yes, but I didn't do it alone. I was pulled back through the portal by Stanley himself, and Dipper, and Mabel, of course. However, because the portal had been activated, Bill could enter our world at any time. I destroyed the portal device once and for all, but what was left was an interdimensional rift in space-time, left over from the portal's last operation. It had the potential to let Bill through to our dimension. I contained it, but the rift shattered. Bill entered the physical realm and wreaked havoc on Gravity Falls in an event called Weirdmageddon.
Bizarremageddon. I guess what would you do? What did you do?
One?
Yeah.
Me? I was captured, turned into a sideshow that the devil's right hand, while the family was left to deal with the remains of my grave mistake. It was the apocalypse, weirdness exploding from every corner, anomalies even I couldn't explain, everywhere. It was all Bill's doing, but he breathes out, frustrated with himself. It was still my fault. As much as I wanted to go back on myself and say it wasn't, I still caused the whole thing. I brought Bill here, I helped him with his plan.
Yeah, it might have been your fault.
Oh, really?
That's the one that had says.
Ford jolts, turning to you.
I mean, it was. Even if he didn't mean to, you had some fault in the matter.
Ford stares at you as you think, trying to phrase your words correctly.
But you thought what you were doing with the portal and all would help your research, that it would lead you to success. Yeah, you read Bill wrong. It's not the end of the world. Well, it was, but...
Ford laughs at that, and you've never heard a more relieving sound in that moment.
But you and your family managed to stop Bill, and stop the end of the world. And I think you learned something from that, you know?
And what would that be?
That you don't have to take everything on alone.
Your grip on Ford's hand tightens.
That you can trust other people to help you with burdens too heavy to carry alone.
Ford nods, squeezing your hand.
It was awful and bad, and yeah, you messed up. But it doesn't define you. You're incredibly intelligent and fun to hang out with, and sure, sometimes I don't understand half the sciencey stuff that comes out of your mouth, but that's all part of you. And that makes me like you all the same.
Ford finally turns to look at you, and he winds an arm around your shoulders. You scoot closer and complete the hug, draping your arm across his middle and hugging him tight. Thank you for listening to me ramble.
It wasn't rambling, it was your life, and I'm very happy to learn more about you whenever you want to tell me more.
Ford pauses, thinking. My favorite snack foods are jelly beans. I hate toffee peanuts.
Honestly, I kinda guessed the whole jelly beans thing.
Ford laughs, and you laugh with him, nuzzling into his chest. You feel him swallow before he presses his lips to the top of your head. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ford.
He smiles at you a moment longer, then it falls as he sobers. I suppose I wanted to tell you because you're leaving soon. The acknowledgement that in a matter of days your time in Gravity Falls will be over should feel final. But instead it only feels distant. You sit back, relinquishing Ford's embrace, and he speaks again. Regular person, what are you doing after all this? When you get your car back, what'll you do?
Finish the road trip.
Is it?
And there's no, the last one was the,
so
was
we're
the your
gonna
fault.
Get the
Yeah. I never did get to finish my road trip.
It would be comforting to think that Ford will still be here in Gravity Falls for summers to come, but you recall that Stan and Ford don't even live on land anymore. They'll be setting sail again, exploring the seas and documenting the oddities of the world. From what you've already heard about it, it's intense stuff that keeps them on the move and untethered.
Let's just go for it. Tell him how we feel.
Dun dun dun!
Ford.
Yes? On second thought, you're not sure you want to hear his answer. Your gaze catches on the pool and you change your mind.
You want to jump in the pool with me?
What?
It'll be fun.
But I have no swimsuit. I haven't been swimming in years.
Ford.
He stares at you wide-eyed.
Trust me.
Ford considers this, then opens his mouth and raises a pointed finger to begin his rebuttal. But it decides again instead.
I'll give you 5 seconds until I cannonball.
You face the pool and prepare yourself to do said cannonball. 5 seconds turn into 10, but by the time you turn around to tell Ford to get ready, you stop. Because not only is he standing next to you, but he's down to just his pants. Well, that's a surprise. I thought you said 5 seconds.
I thought you said you had no swimsuit.
I always come prepared.
Liar.
Ford squints at you. Well, here goes nothing. And with that, he jumps into the pool, leaving you at the sidelines. And very wet, since his impressive dive splash zone extended to, well, you.
Yeah.
He comes back up for air, his floppy hair plastered against his forehead and covering his eyes. Are you...
Cannonball!
You take a running start and jump into the pool, hearing Ford's booming laughter as soon as you hit the water. Once you come up, he slicked his hair back to see you and grins dorkily. Solid entrance, a bit messy on the execution. I would normally give you an 8 out of 10. Ford swims over to you and wraps you into a hug. But since it's you get a perfect score. You feel your face heat up at that, but your return is embraced nonetheless. And since you fell for my cunning plan... With that, Ford dunks you underwater. Cheater.
Cheater!
What are you gonna do? Dunk me under too?
As soon as I catch you, I'm gonna...
The evening is spent acting like total goofs in the water. By the time the sun goes down, you're both soaking wet but blissfully happy.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, we didn't get
must
the
have missed-
last little bit.
Oh, we must have missed one.
Does that mean we're gonna not get the
No.
last picture?
We should be fine. Guess we'll find out.
It's your last day. Oh,
You
I
can
can just skip.
Skipped anything new? Unforgettable.
Unforgettable.
There's not like it. There's no changes now. Open it. Oh God.
Regular person, wait. Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on, kids, back in the house. Nothing to see here.
Oh, but I want to see. Mabel, no.
Stan shoos the kids back into the shack, leaving Ford and you alone outside. Ford steps closer to face you. Regular person, I've never been great at relationships. In college, I ruined what chances I had, and anything after that is best left forgotten. But I think I'll want to try this with you, regular person, if you'll have me.
Oh. I mean, obviously the top one.
Done.
But also, since when did he have like a mullet? Look at how long his hair goes.
It's true.
I think this will work, and I want to keep in touch, Ford. I wanted to ask for your number ages ago, but the shack's landline isn't exactly private, and I don't think you own a cell phone.
Ha, no. Stanley's the one who bothers with cellular phones for the kids' sake, but I connected my watch to the interweb, as they say. And you can send me electronic mail, or... Ford hands you a folded piece of paper with parts of his cursive peeking from its folds. You almost start to unfold it before Ford places his hand over yours. You can send me a letter. This one's just to start us off. You look up at him and feel the desire to...
Just shake his hand, kiss him.
You lean up and give him a parting kiss
These
on
are
the
also
cheek.
chaste.
When you step back, he's blushing. Wait, I think I'm ready for another kiss. On the lips, if you're...
Oh, I'm torn because both are good options. Do it. Just do it. We're never going to see him again. He's going to die.
He laughs and looks at you with a warm smile. His hand comes to the side of your face, the touch tender, and he leans in to kiss you. He's so soft and surprisingly confident, and...
It's Grunkle Ford! It's Grunkle Ford now! Oh my gosh, I did it! I won! Grunkle Stan, fork over that $3 bill!
And you had witnesses. Mabel's excited voice fades into
Mabel,
the shack
you won a
with her
$3
footsteps.
bill.
They exist. Technically. I think.
No, $2 bills.
I know $2 bills. I thought $3 bills were
No.
like even older.
Isn't the expression as phony as a $3 bill?
Let's find out. I know we have
And also,
weird...
it's Grunkle Stan, so he's not going to give her real money.
Yeah, that's fair.
We don't have a $3 bill.
Let's see.
Because the expression is as phony as a $3 bill, right?
Interesting. There were $3 bills issued by banks that you could redeem at the issuing bank,
Oh, that's weird.
but they're not legal tender. This
Yeah,
was
so
like
so there's no $3 bills is what it comes down to.
not as legal tender, but technically they existed and were given out by banks. But you could only redeem it at a bank. So it's almost like a check from a bank type thing.
Right.
Shoot, I thought strategically turning away from the house would work. So much for privacy. But you're grinning, and so is he, and he laughs. You know, regular person, meeting you has made me incredibly glad that I made the mistake with the magnet gun. Not that stranding you here was a positive, but, well, remember me, all right?
Same to you. Don't forget me while you're off saving the world with this. I'm sorry, I can't even read tonight, I guess. Saving the world on the stand of war. Goodbye, Ford.
Ford watches as you get into your car and start up the engine. You turn onto the road with ease, and in the rearview mirror see Ford waving goodbye, as well as Dipper, Mabel, and Stan from the shack. You smile at the sight and say a last goodbye into the quiet of your car, watching until you have to focus on the road once more. While longer in your through town, back on the open road, sign passes on the right, now leaving Gravity Falls. It's not until you're at the next stop that you think to open Mabel's gift, or well, a Pines family gift. You wrap it to find Mystery Shack souvenirs, a small knitted square Mabel had helpfully labeled as a mug sweater, and a photo. Oh, the last photo.
Last photo. How long do you think he posed for that?
I don't know.
Before it worked out. There we go.
Man.
So I think we got every photo for him.
Let's see. Gallery. We got all of them.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
you
that's
can just
cool.
see his expressions.
That's really cool. Because they put a lot of work into that.
They did.
So this was probably another fail a question and get the, you know what I mean? Because
gotcha.
That's probably what it was.
I wonder if we could. Okay, so this would have been the third. Can you go to his Maybe we just do it real quick and then 100% this.
Okay.
Because I can load. We have some saves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one at the Crime Spree and Man of Mystery.
Oh, okay. So apparently for the third photo for Stan, you apparently need to choose to sit alone at the diner. And then you need to tell him that you'd like to have him teach you how to box.
Okay.
That's what this one person is saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to find let me see if I can find a...
Well, let's just start a new one real quick and I can skip through everything.
That's true, we can skip.
Okay.
Can you jump to a chapter or no? Just do regular person again, that's fine.
Yeah. That works. Play them. Skip.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Skip. Fortuitous. Skip.
Check on the
Check on your
car
car.
because you need to start the...
Yep, we're starting Ford.
Offer to help.
Offer to help. Skip through all this.
Done looking.
Skip.
Sounds hard, I guess. I don't know.
Does it say on the...
I'm trying to find one for...
I think the...
No.
Same... No?
Stan's route.
I found a Stan one.
Yeah, it wasn't on the same person's thing though. Here it is. Okay. No, that's Ford's route. Where's the?
Sounds easy. They say. Looks amused. You said you've done this for years.
Ultimately, it doesn't. This stuff doesn't matter though because we're just gonna go for the we just need that next chapter.
That's true. I'm just doing the right ones.
Okay.
As many disparate parts as you can. Hand stitching to tie it together. Sculpt the details. Just have fun with it. There we go. Skip. No more questions. Skip.
To go out for breakfast.
Go out for breakfast. Skip. Okay. Okay.
Wait, so...
Crime spree. I think you go with him to the diner on the date.
Oh, okay.
So...
I wish there was a chapter select.
I know.
Just pick. That's not the last one, though, because the last one's forward.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so... Okay. No, it takes a lot of skill. I used to buy.
It shows.
Shows.
Yes, you want that.
Okay, so I'd like that.
Yep.
Got a problem? Can we swing by a jeweler? I need a new watch. Ask about his car. Don't make them like they used to.
The same options.
Oh, okay. It's funny. 2 or 3.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Okay, skip. I don't think this one matters.
There's a skip button at the bottom that's not.
You ready, kid?
Yeah, probably you bet.
Yeah, I mean...
That was cool.
That was cool. What do you think?
Beautiful. Oh, God, I hate his clown pictures so much.
It's just plain excellent.
Probably that.
Mind if I smoke?
No, go ahead, I guess. Probably I got it. I can do it.
Rip some wires out. Flip the biggest switch. Scared you again.
I don't know.
I don't know. Watch him work.
Oh. We apparently didn't watch him work before.
Yeah.
We were supposed to keep a lookout, I guess.
Oh, okay. A little less dangerous than the gun.
Oh my god.
Oh, I think we got it. This is it.
This is it?
I think so. Clean him up. Got the picture.
If you hit save, we can check
That's true.
the pictures. So hit save at the bottom.
Yeah. Save. We'll go to an empty slot. So it's that one right there.
Oh, we can check the gallery right here.
Gallery.
Nope.
No. Oh, okay, so we're looking for. Let's reel him in. This is boom, power right in the kisser.
Okay.
Okay. It doesn't matter at this
No.
point, right? Hug him. Okay.
This
I
is
don't even know what's going on.
This is
Skip.
the Gomper
Yep.
and Waddle's wedding.
Yep. Skip past all this. Oh, we did the earrings, because why not? Stan.
Yes.
Stan. You can trust Stan. Okay. Immediately put the hat on.
Help him carry. I
Carry
guess.
poles.
I don't know if
Okay,
this.
the next one is just splash them back.
Okay. Just pick one.
Apparently we didn't do that one before.
Just because you just picked bait.
Yeah. Splash them back.
Yes.
Yes. This is wonderful. What?
Oh, it's Dan. Manly Dan. Sit by yourself. This is where, this is where you have to sit by yourself. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Regular person. Oh, because, yeah, okay.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh
All right.
no.
He used to box, didn't he? You wonder how he might look like that. And then you remember his offer to teach you a thing or two. And imagine how he'd look giving you private lessons. Despite knowing it'd be unrealistic.
Uncle Stan so much like spicy? Oh!
It's a fake photo. Interesting.
It's in your mind's eye.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, there we go. We did it.
Oh boy.
Okay. So, make a save. Overwrite.
Go to gallery.
Gallery.
Let's just make sure.
Bam.
Yeah, we got them all.
100%ed.
Beautiful.
That's that.
Oh
Cool.
boy.
We are going to take another break.
Yes.
I'm just going to leave you on this. We will come back and play a different game of some sort. We'll figure out what we want to do, but we need to stretch our legs for a little bit. Anyways, thank you all. We'll be back in a little bit.